Studios, home of the Celtics, Bruins, Revs, and Patriots.
Touchdown, Patriots!
Boston's home for sports is 98.5 The Sports Hub. Easily immediate rotation. Sports Hub headlines.
1 week from tonight, the Celtics will host Game 1 of the NBA Finals at TD Garden, and tonight we may finally get them an opponent. Dallas will visit Minnesota, leading the Western Conference Finals 3-1. Also yesterday, the LA Clippers signed head coach Tyronn Lue to a 5-year, $70 million contract extension. Patriots organized team activities that continued yesterday in Foxborough. Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore, Devon Godshaw, and sixth-round draft pick Joe Middleton were among the missing. Would-be starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett is learning a new offense for a fourth straight season.
It allows you to bring out the best player in you. They obviously tailor the offense around the quarterback and the things that we can do, and obviously, the players that we have. So, as a quarterback, you want to make sure that you have a wide variety of things that you can do, and I think we got the players to help us with that.
Mandatory minicamp is June 10th through the 12th. The Red Sox are beaten in Baltimore last night 6-1. Orioles home run leader Gunnar Henderson's grand slam off Cutter Crawford in the bottom of the second inning blew the game open. The Sox lose 2 out of 3 at Camden Yards. They're back home tonight to open up a 4-game series against Detroit. Edmonton beat Dallas last night 5-2 to even up the NHL's Western Conference Finals at 2 games apiece. And Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 to win the very first professional women's hockey league title last night at Songus Arena in Lowell. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Weymouth, Canton, Bedford, and Natick. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
It's not just the games. It's the preseason, the postseason, the drafts, the trades, front office drama, the locker room banter, and you talking all about
Blah,
it.
blah, 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 blah.
On Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Afraid hello. 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 Mm-hmm. Hello. 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 Hello.
He's naked. He has a sword.
Let's talk about cheese.
Bruins are back from the West Coast.
What the
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can watch us every morning on YouTube. Please, for the love of Pete. Watch us on YouTube. Search 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and subscribe. Oh, for the love of Pete.
Once you subscribe there, you don't have to. What the hell is that? Once you subscribe, you don't have to.
Oh, you're watching pornography.
Again, you don't have to.
British
search
pornography, I can tell by the string music in the background. It's a Downtown Abbey. Downtown Krabby. You have a fetish for people getting disease.
That's when the lorry driver walks in. He says, "What's all this then?"
Were you a Young Lady Chatterley guy? Cinemax After Dark?
Oh yeah, I saw that a time or two.
You know, Adam West was in the second one.
Is that right?
Yeah, Batman. A little bit of a throw off. Threw things off a little bit.
There are about 6 of those movies, right? Sylvia Crystal?
Oh, congratulations. She was married to
Hell
she
yeah.
was married to someone famous. She in real life she was married to someone famous, but no, I'm only familiar, I believe, with 2 of them. I probably saw more. But I think they lost steam after the second one, quite frankly. I can't get enough of them.
Who plays Cynthia Chatterley?
It was Sylvia Crystal, right?
I believe Young Lady Chatterley is played by Harley McBride.
Oh.
Is she famous?
I see a picture of her with Richard Belzer.
Yes.
There you go.
The Bells.
There it
Who
is.
was very into the aliens and things of that nature. So there you go. By the way, I'm for whatever reason, I'm getting a lot of heat from hippies.
Oh boy.
No, you're not.
Oh boy.
No, no, you're not.
There is no one, regardless of what you think of me, I'm an a-hole. I understand that. There is no group of phonier pieces of garbage than hippies. I mean, they expose this peace and love. You know, oh, we're all the same. You know, oh, we're so progressive. Oh, look at all our issues. We're so progressive. And I'll tell you, pedophilia very high on their minds.
What?
Well, they took my name, Fred Toucher, and then started saying pedophilia.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if anything is real, every time I run into hippies, I am always amazed by just how despicable they are. Because you know what they are? They're the first people that would be like, oh, this is hate speech, or oh, you know, this person is they're oh, you know, cancel this guy. Oh, look good for like everyone walking out, and oh, protest this and protest that. But the minute you say something they don't like, it's one thing to go like, hey, you're a douchebag, or you're not funny, or something like that. That's all. That's what I do for a living. That's all legitimate. But the vitriol, Hardy, the vitriol, and it's specifically from hippies, because it will be like a fish site that will get mad at me, and then these hippies with it. First of all, if your first thing off the top of your head is pedophilia, would you post something about pedophilia in any way, shape, or form on the internet?
No, not if I was trying to make a joke or say anything about it. No, I would not.
Wouldn't pedophilia, like, it wouldn't ever even cross your mind?
No, it's not. It's not something that you.
So, like, touch her,
toss around loosely or lightly.
Yeah, like, like it makes me think that you are thinking about pedophilia a great deal. Oh, I hate hippies because it's the phoniness. Like, if it was some, like, you know, crazy QAnon guy, then I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
the guy's living the lifestyle, like he's QAnon.
Go do your thing. Yeah.
You know, like, this guy's pissed at everything.
Yeah.
But this, like, whole thing, like, yeah, man, we're just going to the shows. And, you know, man, like, we just, everyone's invited and everything's cool. But this is, like, every time I piss off hippies, they're the worst. The worst. Worse than anybody. Worse than when the Tebow people. Just awful. The hippies. Not everyone. People complain. You can complain about me all you want. Look, I get it. Like, I say douchey ass. Like, you know, like, I get it. Like, I'm a bit of a prick. I'm trying to be funny, but it doesn't always hit the mark. I understand all that. Like, and you know, I appreciate, and I would insult me too. I insult people all the time. Every day I'm insulting people. I get it. I'm trying to do it in a funny way, but listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Hippies, no. Hippies very vitriolic.
Well,
and it's not like, listen, but the degree of pedophilia jokes, it is concerning to me because I think that some of these people are thinking about pedophilia a great deal, because it's not like you're a pedophile, like something in your past. It's like you're toucher pedophilia.
So
disturbing, John.
I can see that.
Anybody, and I guess hippies would fall into this category for you, Fred, that they want open-mindedness and they want everybody to, you know, kind of be accepting and to explore your mind. But once they, you know, people like that decide they don't like you, or you've run afoul of that, they become very closed-minded toward you.
I'm going to kill you. I want you. Why don't you go kill yourself? You're an alcoholic, you stupid drunk. And all of that is legitimate and on the table. I am an alcoholic.
Yeah,
but all that is on the table. But, like, so why do you if you asked any of those hippies, like, why do you take acid? Like, why are you into hallucinogenics? Oh, it opens up your mind. It takes me to this place where it dissolves all these boundaries. It gets me to the spiritual plane. Nice. I understand the nature of existence. We're all just atoms connected in this world. And it's all phony bullcrap. They're all phony pieces of garbage. They'd all call themselves Buddhist. I guarantee you they would. And like, you know, as the Buddha says, like, don't react, pause before you react. all these things, and they're all full of crap. They're worse. They're entitled, rich pieces of spoiled garbage that were afraid to get into anything else. They are following a culture that existed when their grandparents were alive, and they can all go screw. And they're all physical pussies, and they all can go screw. They couldn't fight their way out of a tin can. And I hope you all get arrested and then go to jail with a bunch of pedophiles, and they have their way with you.
Now that's closed-minded.
Not if they deserve to be arrested. Now, listen, this is not people like insulting. Look, man, I open myself up, and you have every right to insult me and every reason to hate me. I understand it all.
Why would a pedophile want to have their way with a grown hippie, though?
Perhaps
he makes a good point.
The logic was not.
It's
there.
kind of out of the lane that we were speaking of.
The logic was not there, and
maybe the pedophile is more open-minded and is like,
no,
you know what?
The pedophile,
Fred.
No, pedophiles are worse than hippies, but I'll go so far as to say that. But you know,
now you are a little bit more open-minded. Okay, good.
Oh, I'm more open-minded than hippies. Absolutely, I'm more open-minded than hippies. Absolutely, of 100%. The thing I hate about hippies is how phony they are. It has nothing to do with their lifestyle. Like, the Grateful Dead suck in like all that, but that's just a bad band. There's a million bad bands. No, what I hate about hippies, and I always have, is what most people who hate hippies hate about hippies is the extraordinarily phoniness of them. Like this entirely phony, and it's like covering up for all their insecurities and all their real hate. They're like just hateful pieces of garbage. Racist, horrible racist, homophobes. They're awful. How many black guys you see a Grateful Dead or a Fish show?
Well, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to remember if I've ever known a gay hippie. You might be onto something.
They're homophobic, racist. They're the worst. And at least like a QAnon guy. Like a QAnon guy, like is like straight up just racist. Like, and then like you kind of know what you get. They don't pretend to be something they're not. Like, right? Like hippies, hippies would tell you, like, oh man, and they would try to get you in trouble if you said anything. They'd be like, oh, get that guy in trouble. Not like a joke in poor taste or something, but like literally like a political view. They would try to get you like in trouble because, oh, he's so close-minded. Oh, you don't understand. Da 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 da. And then but the minute you say something they don't do, they're pedophile this, pedophile that. They're just, and then like go die and go kill yourself, which is with the hippies. And they're all like Fish Fan 21.
Is it fair, Fred? Just because the only black hippie I can think of is Jimi Hendrix. Is it fair?
He died in the 60s.
Is it fair to say just because not many black people choose the hippie lifestyle, that makes the other hippies racist?
If you chose an identity that was entirely based, that almost excused any other race, I would, and then chose to make that your entire identity, you're a racist. You're an awful, awful racist. And listen, if you're a minority and like the Grateful Dead and want to live that lifestyle, more power to you. And I appreciate it because you're a total free thinker, and then I put you on a different level. But these Trustafarian pieces of garbage, they went to all white boarding schools. They surround themselves with all white people. The music they listen to is literally white. Go listen to Jerry Garcia's from the Grateful Dead, his take on rap. He's the most racist mother effer in the history of the world. It's not music. He essentially, and you know what they do? They stole black people's music. And don't say because he might have put Buddy Guy on his show that he wasn't a despicable racist. And they've ruined more lives through their drug abuse than any other band in the history of the world. They're really just pieces of garbage. And by the way, all of you with John Mayer stuff on your account, John Mayer loves me. So go screw yourselves there because he doesn't like you. Dan, go. And by the way, he was banging Jessica Simpson, you hippie. Dan, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think calling somebody a pedophile is now the go-to because there's no comeback to it. Like, what are you going to say? Like, no, I'm not. And then it's this weird thing. that like it's like calling someone racist. It's like no, I'm not. It's like you can't prove it. So it's just the go-to is
What's disturbing to me is that like that's what comes to mind. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's your like thing, like that the pedophile. So anyway, like look,
Man. Remember you sent Adolfo out to a Dead concert at Fenway Park? The best was he was talking to this guy, and the guy's like, hold on a second. And he reached out and pulled out his BMW car keys and went to lock his car.
Yes.
And you heard the little beep, beep while
Not only that,
Adolfo
John,
was talking to him.
he was selling sandwiches.
So he was selling the sandwiches, and there were another four guys that Adolfo talked to that had just been limoed over, if I remember right, to the concert.
But the BMW guy, this is actually my idea for a bit, is go to the Dead show, find the people that are like hustling in the parking lot,
selling grilled cheese,
and ask to
nitrous
see their
balloons.
car keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what the bit was, John, is that this guy was selling like sandwiches, and then Adolfo said, "I'll give you $20 if you let me see your car keys." And the guy had BMW car keys.
Yep. Yeah.
He was selling sandwiches in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So everything you racist, homophobic, awful hippies, you've doubled down. I don't like the hippies. I don't like them, Hardy.
A friend of mine back in Michigan, his sister-in-law makes a point of going to Burning Man, or used to, and was all upset because she needed a certain cooler to go to Burning Man and sell her special lemonade. And, the whole point of going there was to, pay for the, this, that, and the other thing. Do you know what she does back in Michigan when she's not traveling to Burning Man to sell her lemonade? She is a doctor at Henry Ford Hospital.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
And I mean, I could get him on the phone, and he will back up this story 1,000%. It's his sister-in-law. I don't think he wants to necessarily get in that much trouble with his wife. It's his wife's sister, but wow.
I'll tell you this.
What a story this woman is.
I actually, Burning Man is, as much as I wouldn't want to go, is like, and that's a terrible thing. It's a terrible story. Is that that's more of like an art collective, like whatever. I'm talking grade A hippies.
Yeah.
I'm talking and I think that like there might be
OG
more
hippies.
I'm thinking Burning Man is more a collective of different ideologies and races and religions and stuff. I not so much the Dead shows. No, racist, all of them. All right, very good. Thank you.
You feel better?
Oh yeah.
What brought this on?
It's like, there was some real anger behind that.
What was the genesis of all this, Fred?
Again, I will make the point of there's a lot of justifiable criticism. If you don't like me or don't like something I said, that is completely valid. I deserve all your slings and arrows. But if you're a hippie and the most vitriolic, like, and it's not even that it bothers me that it's vitriolic, but it just the hypocrisy of the most vitriolic, like nasty, go kill yourself, the most like alcohol, because they see like on Instagram like the alcohol stuff, so like the most like go kill yourself, you alcoholic, I'm gonna pee on your grave, alcoholic, and then I'll go, oh, that's not nice, and then I'll look at the account and it's like FishFan21, and again, these are the people that would tell you I'm the most progressive person, I like, everyone's invited, I'm so spiritual, and I think you know by now, the one thing in life that I cannot stand is phoniness, is fake phoniness, which is why I've had problems with people in the past. I just be upfront about the way you are, and then we're fine. Because but don't have your whole life be categorized as this, because you know what they are, Hardy, is they're being superheroes, super progressive, man. That's what they are. And then they turn around and then they're like the opposite of it. It's almost like a cloak they can put on to be disgusting, homophobic, racist. So there you have it. Who's pedophile is the first thing off their mind.
Well, your name is Toucher. It's right there waiting for him. It's low-hanging fruit.
There's a bunch of things about Toucher, but I don't know why your brain would go to pedophilia. And then why would you feel comfortable putting that on the internet? like for all to see. These aren't emails. No, that guy was Come on, don't lump him
that's
in.
a
He was
different case.
He was
Come on.
naked in an adult's trunk.
Yeah.
Stop that. All right, very good. Now that I've said that, I can move on. And so everyone mark that and write an article about that because that is I stand by all of that. Go ahead, Hardy. Go ahead.
What do you want?
What's coming up? And
Oh,
what happened last
there was a
night?
hockey game last night. There was some baseball last night. You betcha. Oh, and Patriots, some players spoke yesterday. So we got all of that.
Very good. We'll be right back.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Ryan Williams with one.
free. I have people that like the Grateful Dead emailing me reasonable things. I will say you this. Look, man, like whatever you want. I'm talking about if your identity is being a hippie, and then more often than not, this is a very caustic group of people. All right, go ahead. What's going on?
All right, well, we had some Stanley Cup playoff hockey last night. Edmonton Oilers trailing 2-1 in their series against the Dallas Stars. They were in Edmonton last night. Things did not start well for the home team. Wyatt Johnson scored just 58 seconds into the game. 5 minutes in, the Stars were up 2-0. But Edmonton clawed back. Ryan McLeod scored at the 13:30 mark of the first. Evan Bouchard added another goal to tie it up at 2-2. They went into the second, and the Oilers scored again 5 minutes in. And then, some 50 seconds later,
now a steal by Draisaitl to Hyman, back to Draisaitl, shoots and scores! 4-2! Edmonton extends to a 2-goal lead! 2 goals in 51 seconds!
So imagine being down 2-0 in a series where you're down 2-1, evening the score by the end of the first period, and then coming out and scoring 2 goals in 51 seconds. And that would be enough, as they would go on to add the empty netter to win 5-2 to tie that series out west at 2 games each.
Real quick, I saw a little bit of this game, and I'm watching Edmonton's power play work. And watching Edmonton's power play work and then juxtaposing what the Bruins are putting out there against what Edmonton is putting out there, Edmonton is Major League. The Bruins are like AA. There's no comparison. It's like a different planet watching those two power play units work at this point.
I don't even know if he's the best power play player, but obviously the best goal scorer for the Bruins is Pastrnak, and he would rank where on the Oilers power play?
Third.
Yep. So there you go. I mean, the Oilers are the Oilers are dealing with. The amount of talent and their number one is so far and away better than anyone else that it's unfair.
Yeah, you have McDavid and Draisaitl out on the power play, and it's another universe from where Pastrnak is kind of there, but not close.
No, Pasternak's an elite goal scorer, but he's not he's not. Well, first of all, he's not even in the same conversation as McDavid, and he's not as good as Draisaitl. So
correct.
So they're look.
But it just is startling to watch.
It looks like a different game. Sometimes the Western Conference looks like a different sport than the Eastern Conference in hockey. I think I heard Gasper talk about that before. Like, it just looks different. It's not that sandpaper game that, especially Florida, New York, like Florida. Yeah, by the way, did you see the cheap shot in the Florida series?
Of course.
Another cheap shot?
I mean, Florida, that's what they do. And it's actually interesting that it's not just the Bruins they do it to. They're doing it to the Rangers also. I mean, there was a game, I was telling Hardy about this. At the end of the game, maybe it was game 1. Florida already had the game locked up. And there was a puck cleared, and the time was running out, and it was like a 2 or 3 goal difference. And one of the Florida defensemen comes over and cheap shots a guy along the boards for no reason at the end of the game.
Yeah,
you see it. The Panthers do this, not just one guy. It's a lot of guys who do this.
But I
can't root for the Rangers hard enough.
I'll tell you, if it's Rangers Oilers, because Florida is not an interesting team. They're a good team, but they're just not an interesting team. If you get the New York market, and oddly enough, Edmonton, but if you get this Edmonton team, this is a home run
if you
for the NHL.
Just a casual fan.
Oh, I'll watch it.
No, but what I'm saying, not just you.
No, but I'm
work in the sports business.
I'm essentially a casual.
A casual fan of sports. And you're like, you know what? Let's turn on the Stanley Cup Finals. And you get a chance to watch Connor McDavid and, to a lesser extent, Draisaitl. You're hooked. I remember, I don't know who we had on. It might have even been Thornton back in the day. I don't remember who it was, but we asked him what makes McDavid so good. And whoever it was said, he does the same stuff as everybody else. He just does it about 5 times faster.
Yeah.
And that's true. McDavid skates quicker than everyone else. He shoots faster than everyone else. It's really, he's great to watch, even when he doesn't score. Some of the greatest baseball players are exciting even when they strike out. That's this kid. He doesn't even have to score, and you like watching him.
And it's one of these things that, remember the 94 Stanley Cup Finals?
Yes.
I
was actually there for Game 7, oddly enough.
I was a freshman in college, and one of my good friends was a huge Ranger fan.
Yeah.
And, I just remember being captivated by that series. Now, look, this Ranger team is the 94 Ranger team. But that was a special situation. But there is something to be said about hockey in Madison Square Garden, like Stanley Cup Finals hockey. It's very rare.
It's nuts.
But so you have on one side the atmosphere of New York City. By proxy, the national people are going to be talking about it because they live in the city where it's all happening.
Plus, you have Canada with a chance to win their first cup in 20, 30 years, right?
And just maybe you've heard, Mad Dog, or you've heard, Colin Coward or someone, like, they've dared to mention hockey on their show because the Rangers are there. And you turn it on, and then you see Draisaitl and McDavid, and now all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is. And then say it's Boston, Dallas, and it's at a slow point, and there's a game that's Doncic is not the most exciting guy in the world to watch. So maybe it was just Tatum and Doncic, out of superstars, are not high flyers, and so maybe you see a game that say the Celtics win by 20 in a game, and then you turn on the next night, you turn on the NHL, and then you get McDavid and Draisaitl, you might go Jesus, this is something else.
This is a perfect opportunity. There was an article written by Dan Wetzel in Yahoo a couple of days ago where, because there's such a long break, because there's a week here, there's a chance to be a week here without basketball. This is hockey's chance. This is hockey's chance to get people to pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's
especially
ideal.
with a guy like Draisaitl and a guy like McDavid skating around out there. I mean, this is hockey's opportunity because basketball refuses to change.
I'm sure they'll grab by the neck and they'll highlight these guys and they will prop them up as the superstars of the league. No, I mean, we'll watch it as hockey fans, but I don't know that the NHL is going to be able to capitalize on it.
Well, that's the thing is that there are plenty of NHL finals that I don't watch. If I didn't last year. If I'm not, I might turn it on, but I'm not locked in, except for the Super Bowl. I'm not necessarily watching every second of a championship series.
No, but with a couple of Game 5s coming up, yes, absolutely. Between the Panthers and Rangers, that's a Game 5 I'll watch. I'll absolutely watch the Game 5 between the Rangers and Dallas, and I think this will be a Cup final worth watching. I don't know how much it was worth watching the Red Sox last night. Did you pay a lot of attention last night?
I saw Gunnar Henderson hit one to Ohio.
That's well struck. Right field. You can watch.
Oh, you can watch it go down there. It's going to be a souvenir for the fan. Woo, Gunnar. More like home run, Gunnar.
All right, let's try again.
That's well struck. Right field.
Oh, he got out of that one. He knocked the cover off the thing.
You can watch this one sail out.
Oh, look at it go high and far.
It's a Gunner grand slam.
Gunner grand slam, salami, touch them all. High fives between the four of you.
And a mistake.
Clear the dugout. Give someone the hot foot, because this one's in the bag.
Man, and the Orioles up 5-1.
He is now tied for the Major League lead with 18 homers.
Oh.
Well, time for the Major League lead with 18 homers.
Well, baseball's Doris Burke. That was pretty good.
That made it.
Don't put me in the same category as him. Is Doris on the game tonight?
You're right.
A lot of emails that I got. Don't like the Doris Burke voice.
How do you not?
I don't understand it.
That one I will.
I know we have a segment assigned to this, but if you'd like me to read one of these emails, I'm more than happy to.
I'll push back on the Doris Burke stuff.
I love the Doris Burke. That was a break that I will cherish.
You don't like well, it's about the content, not so much the voice. I'll tell you. Luka Doncic weighs 10 stone. He could Oh, if he worked for a moving company, he'd be the guy that took the mattress on his back with those harnesses.
Doris, it's your producer. Could you just move the microphone a little bit away from either your mouth or your nose? We can hear your breathing a little bit. Can you try to
It's
correct
the
that?
call of the wild. It's using every piece of the animal. As the Native Americans did, it was a sacrifice to the gods. You would use the hide.
All good stuff. All good stuff, Doris. The breathing is a little too loud on the podcast.
The Celtics have left nothing on the bone. They have gone to the basketball gods and they've drank the blood of the the oxen.
Let's go to commercial. I know there isn't a timeout, but we need to get this fixed. We're going to go to commercial. Doris, send it to break.
Break the neck of the wounded animal and end its suffering. You know, one time I was driving in 1979 to a UCLA game, and I hit a deer. Now, that deer looked like it was in a great deal of pain. So I started frantically stomping upon its skull to end the pain.
We need to break. Please send it to break. Okay, more from the game.
You know who has a size foot that could kill a deer probably was Shaquille O'Neal. Those feet could kill...
I got emails too, Wallach, about this.
Yes.
About this, sitting on the hand and the hand falling asleep.
Yeah, no one
and wanting the explanation. And this person was like offended. I've been replying to most emails lately. I couldn't reply to this one because I didn't have an explanation. I'm like, I was sitting here. I don't remember.
Wait, what was the problem?
Something about you really focused in on sitting on your hand.
No, because that was just the audio that was pulled. No, I didn't say anything about sitting on the hand. She said sitting on the hand. That's not fair.
Okay, well
that's actually not fair because they're talking about the stranger.
You understand.
I didn't take the easy joke, which was the stranger.
Okay, you understand that it is. This happens to all of us. We get told about things that we either played or said, and you can't remember afterward.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Entirely.
So
That's absolutely.
I don't even remember that portion.
No, I would admit it because the easy joke there was the stranger. Like,
yes.
you sit on your hand and it's like someone else is doing it. But I didn't go there.
Yeah.
The whole quip that Mike pulled was that you focus on his right hand and you take it away. Your enemy, the first thing you do is you find their strong hand and remove a finger from it.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay. All right. Very good.
I mean, Doris Burke has a unique voice, just like, callers to the Feinbaum show have a unique voice.
Sure.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun. She's an excellent analyst. I'm not calling into question her analytical ability.
Anyway, the Red Sox lost.
Oh, so by the way, I turn on the Mets, the Dodgers game. I go, what the hell? Who cares? Otani's up. Of course, he hits a home run.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. The Mets reliever that's in the game throws his mitt into the crowd.
Jorge Lopez.
And then after the game announces that his team is the worst in the major leagues.
So we got the audio from that.
Yeah.
Later.
I just happened to be watching it. It was glorious. It was on about 7:00 at night.
Yep.
And I saw Otani take. It was one pitch to Otani. He takes it over the wall. And so he's just insane.
14 homers, 13 stolen bases, and an average of over 350.
Yeah, he is something.
Fine. Yep.
He is.
Yeah,
something.
let's do that next.
All right, we will do that next. I apologize for taking.
No.
It's fine. I was doing one of my silly little voices. We'll be back here. The headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics are still awaiting the winner of Dallas and Minnesota in the NBA Finals. A week from tonight, the Mavericks visit the Timberwolves this evening, leading the Western Conference Finals 3-1. Patriots continued OTAs yesterday. Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore among the missing. Gerard Mayo will lead his first-ever mandatory minicamp on June 10th. Baltimore scored 5 in the bottom of the second to beat the Red Sox 6-1 last night at Camden Yards, and Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 to win the very first professional Women's Hockey League championship last night in the 5th and deciding game of that series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel as the Detroit Tigers come into Boston, Massachusetts. Are they playing a 5-game series?
4, I think, right? Let me double check. I thought it was 4.
Yeah, well, a 5-game series would be very odd. But Detroit is here Thursday. Detroit is here
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Thursday, Friday, 4. I keep thinking because of the holiday. My bad. Yeah, 4-game series.
Sox are lucky they avoid Detroit's best pitcher.
Yes, because much to the consternation of my son, who is going tonight, and then we are going on Sunday. Because now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to go to Red Sox games because you can get in prime seats, $70. It's a great time to be alive. This is what I've been waiting for ever since 2006. I told you go to Braves games for $1, and the bar I worked at had a free bus there with free beer on it.
Yeah, we're now at the point where you go to see the other team. Yes. Like Atlanta's here Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. You go, and I bet you those games sell really well because you go and see the other team. Now, you won't see Acuna because he's out for the year, but you will see a lot of great players.
Now, in fairness, the game, I've been to 3 this year. I bet you end up going to 25 games this year, but I've been to 3 this year, and maybe not 20, probably 20. And the games have all been, there have been good crowds. It's just good because it's cheap.
Yeah, it's easy. There are plenty of seats available. You're not elbowing anyone in the throat to get into the ballpark.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying is it's not empty. Like, you're right. It's not like a mob scene, but it's not empty.
Yeah,
so it's a good environment.
I sent you guys pictures of the one game I went to.
Oh, yeah, well, that
was
bad.
I mean, that was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 10 or 15 minutes before first pitch. It was 75% empty.
What day of the week was that?
I think it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, because I've only been on the weekend. It was
a weekday. I think it was a Tuesday.
Okay, yeah.
Monday or a Tuesday.
Fair enough. Yeah, there were a lot of Fralick people there at the game I was at because they were playing the Brewers.
Lexington zone, yep.
How the Brewers are good outside of their starting pitching, by the way, is for another day. I don't understand that lineup. Go ahead. But yesterday,
Mets and Dodgers.
And now you say, why are you talking about a random baseball game? Because the Mets are hysterical.
The Mets are at home yesterday. They're playing the Dodgers. Jorge Lopez on the mound. It is 9-3, top of the 8th inning, and this happens.
Someone just got tossed by Ramon de Jesus. Who was it? Who knows?
That's Hernandez that is given up on Memorial Day.
That's Hernandez is like, I'm in an iconic episode of Seinfeld. I don't need any of this. I quit cocaine.
Only 6 months to go in the season.
He's like, I quit cocaine in 1982. He's like, he's like, look, I've had my fun.
Wow, that is good. Okay.
Yeah, I told you. This was, I saw this, I didn't see it on SNY, but I saw this live on the base.
Yep. My team's 11 games under 500, 16 games out of first, and we're at Memorial Day.
Good for Cohen buying that team and throwing all that money at it and just going.
Yep.
By Ramon de Jesus. Who was it? Who knows? I think it was the third base umpire. Yeah, it was de Jesus. De Jesus has got a short fuse, and he threw Lopez out of the game. Is that old? I don't know. It saved them. Well, that's adding insult to injury. Because now the Mets have to bring in a cold reliever, right? Bring a position player in now. That's frustration by Lopez. I don't know how Lopez and Ramon de Jesus would have anything to say to each other.
Well, it's because of a call, a no-strike call on a check swing that Lopez was upset about. The at-bat continued. I don't know who was that. I don't know who was at the plate, but did he hit a home run after that? Or
no, Ohtani hit the home run. The next guy, it was a 3-1 count.
Okay.
And that's when he argued the check swing and got tossed.
Yeah, he should.
The home run came first.
Yeah, a 3-1 count in a game that was over on a team that sucks, and this guy he starts going after the ump. It's like, what are you doing, first of all?
By the way, this guy isn't a rookie. I mean, he's 31. He's been on 4 or 5 different teams at the major league level.
Yeah, he completely lost all his composure, and Hardy, he spoke after the game. And things are not going to get better in New York.
Threw his glove over the netting as he was walking off the field, and so they got him in the clubhouse afterwards.
The emotion, but that that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No. No, I don't.
This is after the manager met the media and said that's unacceptable.
Well,
when presented with that evidence, a chance to dig himself out of the hole, the reliever's
listen,
like, no.
You want to know he knows that he's a journeyman? Listen to what he says.
No. No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it. I'll be tomorrow here if they want me, whatever they want to do. So, I'm going to keep doing this thing, So, I'm healthy on whatever, on whatever to do. I'm ready to come back tomorrow. If they want me to be here, so I'll be here.
The guy asked, and the follow-up, he said, did you say that you were playing for the worst team? And he said, yeah.
Yeah. But that's bad, but it's not as bad as, like, I'll be here if they need me. Like, I'm healthy. Like, he's, like, begging to be cut. Like, you got to get rid of him.
All right, well, it's interesting you bring that up. The Mets designated him for assignment after the game.
Yeah, of course. You have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
Like the second the game was over, they started the process.
I think just for the mood of the clubhouse, Fred, I think maybe he's maybe not the best clubhouse guy.
Because you could make the argument that look, I'm frustrated. We're the worst team in the league, which they're not, but I mean, they're close. But they're like, we're the worst team in the league. Like, this is unacceptable. I'm frustrated. You can do that, but you can't say we're the worst team in the league. I mean, if they want me, I guess I'll be back. Like, I'm healthy.
This is his seventh team in 9 years.
Yeah, like I have a feeling he's a bit of a problem.
He's got a bit of an attitude problem. Just a bit.
I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it.
Hey, the Red Sox specialize in cheap scrap heap pickups. I bet you they signed this guy.
Probably the worst team in MLB. So whatever they want to do.
Yeah, like I won't quit. Like, I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be here. I'm healthy.
I'll be tomorrow here if they want me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna really screw around.
Whatever they want to do. So,
by the way, and this guy should be talking because I obviously didn't know this. His ERA in his last 7 days is 20.
Yeah. No, he's not good.
No, he's not good at all.
Hasn't been
So
good for a while.
he's slumping a little bit.
Yeah, he's 28 games pitched. He's pitched 26 innings, 25 hits, 13 runs.
Yeah.
Not good. He is not a good pitcher.
The worst team in probably the whole effing MLB.
And they aren't even.
Well, there's degrees of bad.
Actually, it hasn't been that bad this year.
Maybe he thinks they're capable of playing better. I don't know. Anyway, so the Patriots also held more workouts yesterday, OTAs. We don't have time to do it now, but we'll get to Bailey Zappi and Drake May.
Drake May had, I guess he started very cold and then ended with a flurry, a flourish, and they talked about that. And we will have on Mark Daniels. He was there, and they can talk about how Drake May he's solidly the third-string quarterback, which is good news if you're a Patriot fan.
Yeah.
Because I got to imagine the idea of just in 30 seconds is sit May, and then I'd play him like the last couple games, get him some action, get some film on him, and then move on from that point.
Keeping Zappi was, as it turns out, very important.
I agree, because you cannot have May be the backup quarterback because it's a scenario where your quarterback is going to most likely get hurt, and you do not trust me.
No, you don't want him sitting there on the sidelines in uniform. You want him as the emergency quarterback. Fans won't see him. There's no temptation to put him in.
Well, no, you just can't have. You don't want him coming in if Brissett gets hurt.
Yes.
You do not want that because that's worse than giving him a week to prepare to be the starter. You trust me, I've seen it. You don't want that. Aaron Rodgers get hurt for a game 4 plays into a season. No, not good. I mean, the worst quarterback in the NFL last year was Aaron Rodgers' replacement, and it was a guy that they intended to sit for the entire season, like idiots. Like their quarterback was never going to get hurt over a 17-game season. You cannot have him be the backup. If you're going to start him, but you cannot have him as the backup. That's the worst case scenario. All right, when we come back, yesterday it was Lockhart, but it was all. It's a phenomenon. Friends texting me, friends of friends texting me. What is this sensation? We have found a new sensation for everything bad. For everything bad in the world, something truly great exists, and we will have that for you in just a moment.
sports fans start their day. Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. And oh my God, are we on YouTube? This is what you got to get on. You got to get on YouTube. And if you do it, you're not doing us any favors unless you subscribe. Because that gets us on a whole thing. All right, so yesterday we played something, and I got a text from someone that says, I'm fielding questions, R.E. the Bear song. Can we clarify what the name and artist, give a link? And then I said, I sent the thing, and then the person goes, my friend Jonah, who owns a very progressive consignment store. He heard it on the radio and wants to add it to their store playlist, and it will be in daily rotation now. Now, what is this person referring to? They are referring to a song by a young man. Now, in the video, Hardy, he starts off very frustrated. He's going out on dates with men, and he's just bored by them.
Yeah, I believe the artist's name is Tom Goss.
Yes.
Am I getting that right?
Tom Goss.
Okay.
He's a short guy in very good shape, though. But it's important that I say short because this factors into things. So he's on dates, and he's not really enjoying the dates this much, and here's how it starts.
Some people think they got it right.
I don't know. That's the wrong one. Oh, is that it? That's how it starts?
This is how it starts? Okay, cool. So it starts off, and he's on the phone with his friend, and he's like, I want to go on the date. Like, I'm done with this guy. And the person's like, what? This guy's super hot. And he's like, nah, I've had it with him. And it's the Bear party. So now they're in a backyard. It's this guy. He's much smaller than the other men. These men, but all the Bears have on like almost bikini bottoms. And
I don't know if that's fair. There's some board shorts. There's some.
Well, the
gym
older
shorts.
guys got board shorts on.
Yeah.
But let's be. You know what I'm getting at. Everyone's invited to the Bear party.
A rugged double bear.
In this community, you don't have to be a big muscular hunk. You can just be a fatso.
I like it. All right.
Look, I told you I've been described her and see it all because he likes these guys that are nice and furry. That's the great thing about the Bear community is that it come as you are. Just be tall, heavy, and you can have back hair. Finally, a place where we're accepted. Finally, a place.
Hallelujah.
Finally, a place where I don't have to take that, guys. I'm telling you, it's a G-rated scene. They're just like playing volleyball and in a kiddie pool, and they're doing a slip and slide.
Really?
And I'm not. There's no double entendres here. They're literally just running
the
and
squirt
sliding.
guns.
I don't even look at that as a double entendre. I swear to God. I think that's your mind. This is wholesome fun.
Okay.
This is just a backyard grill. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's not kissing or anything. They're just having the time of their lives.
Huh?
And he sits up and he's like, "Where am I?" And he turns around, and much to his delight, is a overweight, tall bear of a man.
Okay.
And here is the song. That's found by Mike Lockhart, who is knee deep in the bear. And squaw, squaw.
It's already got a different feel than the.
Yeah. This is like the day after the party.
This is a slow jam.
No. This is the day after the party, though. Like they've grilled, they've played in the kiddie pool, they've done the slip and slide. Now it's everyone's paired off, and we're off to the races.
Okay.
Now that might be a double entendre. that might be that he is aroused. By the way, two big hairy guys just started banging on the window as we put up the signal. If you're driving down the car in the car and stuck in traffic, and a nice big hairy guy comes to the car.
What's the name of this one, Fred?
This one's called Dirty Bear.
Dirty Bear. Okay, go ahead.
He's waking up.
Hey, Yeah, you. Oh, you a shy one, aren't you? So cute. Nerdy bear.
Oh, it's Nerdy Bear.
Oh, Nerdy Bear.
Nerdy Bear.
Oh, my bad. Nerdy Bear. Now, this is a very specific subset of the bear culture. Now you're a big, fat, hair, not necessarily fat, I shouldn't say that. With the book in front of his face.
Is reading a book called God's Fall World Book. This looks like some kind of...
Well, they just had to find whatever. They had to go to the neighbor's house and ask for whatever's on the coffee table.
Feels like some kind of a fantasy,
But
almost textbook.
From what you have on that screen, could you tell me for sure that wasn't John Wallach? Because you can't see his body.
Oh, he's reading God's Fall World Book, a complete guide to the fantasy world of Calgon, including original creatures, races, and settings.
There are so many subsets to this gay culture. It's fantastic.
Nerdy bear. Behind the glasses, you a dirty bear.
Okay, so Dirty Bear, Nerdy Bear. So no one's wrong.
So shake that ass in daddy underwear.
In daddy underwear. Did we explore daddy underwear? I'm assuming, guys, boxers is daddy underwear?
I think tidy whities is daddy underwear.
Touche. Mike is saying tidy whities.
Yeah, baby.
Well done, Johnny.
Thank you.
Apparently, we haven't watched enough of the video yet to know.
Oh, I don't like. I like coming in fresh. You know.
The Bears.
Oh, I'm enjoying it just as much.
Okay, all right.
Because there's more nuance to it, where I'm finding out more about the culture, and I was honestly thrilled when my friend told me that they had a friend that owns this gay consignment shop that was like, he's like, what's the song? I want to put this unironically on my playlist. This is why we do these things. I hope you all know that. This is a celebration.
And let me sneak into your secret lair.
Oh, let me sneak into your seat.
Secret lair.
Yeah, but he's saying seat. Ric Flair.
I know.
Let me sneak into your
You
seat.
say to his seat, Ric Flair. There it's
Woo! Let's go to Star Wars. Let's go to Star Wars. Let's go to the Yogi Bears exhibit.
No, it's a lair. It's like a bear's den. I understand what he's doing. Go ahead.
No.
And let me sneak into your secret lair.
Seat. He was saying seat.
He's not saying seat.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree. It's just like if we had a Ulysses book club, we'd be talking about the imagery.
It's a Friday night and the club is bumping, but you're hanging tight and cuddling with the pumpkin.
Now, is Super Mario Brothers featured in this video?
Yes.
And he's hitting his head against bricks.
Well, yeah, they're playing video games because he's a nerdy bear. So they're...
Boy, that guy is... Now, can I safely say that guy's extremely overweight?
Well, the Mario blue jumpsuit is not doing him any favors.
And who is our hero playing? The princess.
Yes.
And they're reenacting the scene, if you win Mario Brothers, where he kisses the princess.
You got that Smash Bros. Combo locked tight. I'll be your princess, your link, that's right. Up, down, left, right, be a star. That's the cheat code to open my heart.
He pauses between to open my heart. So the guy's playing video games with glasses on, and our hero is taking his glasses off and like, pay attention to me.
Man.
Why are you playing this video game? Because in gay culture, Super Mario Brothers is the epitome of nerdy. He's trying his best to get this guy to not focus on the video game, including inserting himself into the video game himself. And they're playing a Super Nintendo, so this nerd is into retro gaming, I can tell you that.
Drop your controller, here please use mine. Don't need no quarter, free plays all night. Nerdy bear, behind the glasses you a dirty bear. So shake that ass in dirty underwear.
And then there's 18-sided die. There is a dragon chasing him. He's having a lot of fun. And he is taken to wearing just a pink headband. Nothing else.
and let me sneak into your secret lair, your secret lair. Nerdy bear.
How many hits does this have? How many views does this have?
This is only 179,000. I feel like this is way under.
Yeah, but you're right. Daddy underwear, tighty whities. We have learned something else today. It is fantastic. So congratulations to who's the man's name?
Tom Goss.
I like his $0 budget on these videos and still making them a lot of fun.
Hey. Yeah, you.
Me?
Oh, you a shy one, aren't you? So cute.
Go on.
Man.
Thank you very much. All right. Here we go. JJ Redick. He was JJ Redick yesterday. See, he went on Felger and Mazz. I have to imagine it was from the ABC network. They were like, he's going to be calling these final games. JJ Redick came on, and he was an awful guest. He will be calling the finals. We will find out why and how JJ Redick.
They said, JJ Redick, welcome to the program.
Hey.
He's like, hey, it's good to be here. What are you doing right now? I'm just lounging around playing video games in my daddy underwear. What? Hey! Hello? What?
Cubba-dubba-doo. Man.
Cubba-dubba-doo. He is very, Yogi's friend was named what?
Boo-boo. I don't know if you want to go down to that hole, Yogi.
Well, sure you do.
That's just eerie.
So this guy is just straight up going, I'm boo-boo to your Yogi.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey. What? Hello.
You right.
You're
Cubba-dubba-doo. Man.
Oh. You know, Al Horford used to wear daddy underwear. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. JJ Redick was atrocious on the Felger Mazz show. It was not their fault. We will have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
Very quickly, Fred. Jane's Addiction thoughts? Give me 10 seconds on Jane's Addiction.
Go ahead.
No, I want your 10 seconds on Jane's Addiction.
All right,
I will. You want mine?
Yeah.
They're one of the most important bands for bridging 80s rock to 90s rock. They're not quite. They didn't fit into any genre necessarily other than alternative rock. But Perry Farrell proved himself to be one of the great rock and roll frontman for probably more than 20 years.
All right, so they played at the Fox Theater in Atlanta for a 99X. They were doing a regular show, but beforehand they played for a handful of listeners backstage. Perry Farrell came up to me before they did the backstage show, which was before their actual show, and he goes, "Hey, man." He's like, "You want to drink some Jaeger with me?" And he hands me a bottle of Jaeger, and him and I drink a bottle of Jaeger together while walking up the stairs. Like, we slammed this bottle of Jaeger. And someone that was in his entourage comes up to me, and they said, "Were you just drinking that with Perry?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Good luck." And I took that to mean that was not just Jägermeister.
Oh, boy.
So I became certain that I had been dosed and sat in the audience for an hour while I watched the time tick. Now, thankfully, I drank half a bottle of Jaeger very quickly, so the nerves were a little calm.
Yeah.
And I sat there for an hour waiting for the acid
The
to kick
trip?
in.
The
acid
trip to
kick
begin?
in, and it never kicked in.
Oh, good.
So Perry did not dose me.
Okay, good.
But, shame on the person in his entourage for thinking the least of him. Yeah, they're extremely important. Them and Fishbone and, like, The Loneliest Monster, that whole scene is underappreciated because the worst band out of all of them got to be the most famous, which was the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, man.
Oof. All right, so J.J. Redick. Everyone hated J.J. Redick when he played, and he is rumored to take the Lakers job, Jonathan. But there's rumors now, because I looked at TMZ because they had a fun article about me, but a good pitcher. I have to give them credit. TMZ professionals, they didn't use a pitcher from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
They used a pitcher from this year.
Good.
Well, after the weight loss. So I actually appreciate that. But before it, there was a prospective coach that was in L.A. Talking for the job. So is this a home run slam dunk? J.J. Redick is getting this Lakers
You
job?
keep hearing Reddick's the favorite, but the Lakers just brought in this guy named James Borrego, who used to be the head coach at Charlotte. So at least they're looking at other people.
Yeah, so it's not a home run done deal that he is going to be the coach. But yes, I do want to thank TMC Sports. Says Bill Walden, radio host mocks phony hippie day after Legend's death. But you'll see, look at that photo. That's not a bad photo of me.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, I've seen photos a lot worse.
Yeah,
Yes.
The Boston Herald they're not even bad photos that the Boston Herald used, but for some reason they used photos from their stock footage of me when we first came on the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's when they had come in to cover the show, but they used photos from BCN. TMZ took one off my Instagram page.
Nice.
So
that shows, going the extra step there. Yeah,
I am so shallow that I actually was excited when I saw it, and I went, "That's a good photo." Then
I'm very happy for you.
I swear on a stack of Bibles, the only thing I thought when I saw that was, "Oh, that's a good photo of me." Now you might think I look ugly.
Yeah,
I'm not pretending I'm handsome. But as pictures of me go, and that's me at Mike Gorman's day, I was all dressed up in what you made fun of, the jacket with
the hoodie.
With the hoodie.
Yeah.
But I got my tiger hat on, which also was made fun of by Hardy. But
you wore a Detroit hat to a Celtics celebration.
Representing the D, baby.
Well, I know it's cold in the D, and I don't know how you're supposed to keep
well,
peace,
I have a
but
tiger hat on right now.
It's just that was...
And they're coming in town
that
to play
was
your
inappropriate.
Sox.
You're on a real insensitive, ininappropriate tear lately.
Listen, I'm shocking. But I'll tell you this. I swear on everything that I was... Because Rick goes, "Hey, TMZ called." So I was on the phone with him, and I look at TMZ, and I go, "Oh, yeah, okay." And I'm like, "Ooh, that's a good picture." That was my only concern.
Okay.
I really am not a good person.
So J.J. Redick.
So J.J. Redick. Anyway.
That wasn't any part of the debate. Go ahead.
I'm aware of that, Hardy.
Okay.
That's why none of this is particularly troublesome to me. All right, so
it would only trouble a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they keep rewarding me with lots of money for all of that.
That was
All right,
sneaky.
So
I kind of glossed over it, but that was sneaky right there. That was good.
What's it called? Psychotic, I believe is the term.
Sociopathic.
Right. But I don't like hippies. I'll stand by. The hippies, if you go revisit in the podcast, the 6 o'clock hour.
Go check the first 15 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Racist, anti-gay hippies.
Out. Hippies out.
Under the veil of progressives.
Right.
All right. So anyway, J.J. Redick, I don't know if he's going to be the next coach of the Lakers. Who knows? He's calling these NBA final games. So what I would imagine is, unless James Stewart chased him down, which that doesn't sound like Felger Maz would do that. Maybe he did, but it sounds to me like almost like J.J. Redick is has something with ABC where he has to do radio. So I've had to do radio before too, and I've gotten into it with hosts, but it was more because I was still, I believe, at least attempting to be entertaining. Now here's the deal: you come on a show and you can be all combative as you want. You can do anything that you want. But even like on people, ironically, that I've hung up on, like at least, like some of the guys, like when I hung up on Howe, like he was being combative and interesting, and like at the end of the day, Howe was good, and I hung up on him because out of frustration, but that was based on me probably not being able to come back at him well enough in my own insufficiencies. So my point is, if you're going to be a guest on a show and you're a professional broadcaster, which he is, the idea is that you're going to come on and at least be somewhat interesting. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be controversial. You don't have to have hot takes. But you're talking to a wide audience, and the idea is that, like, I'm doing this. I'm selling my product. I'm going to be interesting. So that's just the bare minimum, right? Here's J.J. Redick on Felger and Maz, and I heard it, and this is not on Felger and Maz at all. J.J. Redick is being an uninteresting prick.
And I saw the comments and I saw the post and, looked at some of the comments before I heard J.J. Redick, and people were saying things like, this is why Boston sports radio sucks. Look at these clowns. Like, oh boy. Yeah. What are the afternoon shock jocks get into? Spoiler alert, nothing.
No,
there's nothing to do with Felger and Maz.
Yeah. This really is just like to be interesting. Like they're not baiting them or anything.
Nothing.
But you'll be.
They're doing their show.
I got a couple quick clips for me.
Okay. All right.
Here is J.J. Redick on Felger and Maz.
Long story short, among guys who play a lot in the playoffs the last 2 years, he takes as many three-pointers as anyone and misses pretty much more than anyone.
Talking about
that a fair?
Okay, he's talking about
Jason
Tatum.
Yeah.
So he's giving a fact.
Yes.
He's leading him into something. He can certainly have a different opinion.
He gave all the stats. It's like out of a certain number, he had taken almost as many attempts, and he was like 40th out of 42 in scoring.
All right, so here we go.
Long story short, among guys who play a lot in the playoffs the last 2 years, he takes as many three-pointers as anyone and misses pretty much more than anyone. Is that a fair thing to scrutinize him over?
Yeah, I already brought that up.
I missed it. You want to refresh? Did you?
No, I said I already brought that up.
You did?
I already said that. Yeah, I said he struggled with his jump shot in the playoffs. I already said that.
Okay, but how about...
Yeah, all right. So you already said it. So what? Like, why are you being combative to him? Like, you already said it. What was dumb about that? He came with an informed question, and I already said it. Why are you doing the show? Like, just say no.
I don't know why you would go on a talk show where... If you've ever listened to one, it's about a conversation. He's acting like
he has a podcast with LeBron James.
And he's acting like he's at the podium post-game trying to defend like his own guys. No, you're just having a conversation about basketball with some other guys.
He is a professional broadcaster. Now they're podcasts, so it's like the Mendoza line. But he has several podcasts, to my understanding. And he's making tens of millions of dollars being the lead analyst on in the far inferior one to Doris Burke on the NBA Finals. I mean, he's going to be talking to an audience of tens of millions of people, or close.
Long story short, among guys who play a lot in the playoffs the last 2 years.
What am I got? I got the same thing twice.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh,
we'll
no.
Long story short.
All right, we'll break. I want the thing, Mike, where Maz asks if the Celtics lose, why they'll lose. And I think even Jimmy Stewart put that up on Twitter. Or Ryan Beaton put it up on Twitter. All right, because we got time. We'll break. We'll get more from this because J.J. Redick was very combative. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
The Celtics will host Game 1 of the NBA Finals a week from tonight at TD Garden. We may finally get them an opponent as soon as the end of the night tonight. Dallas will visit Minnesota, leading the Western Conference Finals 3-1. Patriots OTAs continued yesterday in Foxborough. Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore, and Devon Godchow among those that were missing. Red Sox were beaten in Baltimore last night 6-1. Gunnar Henderson, a grand slam for the Orioles. They take 2 of 3 in the series. Sox back home tonight to open up a 4-game series against Detroit. And Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 last night to win the very first professional Women's Hockey League championship. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Prestige Car Wash, home of the free vacuum. Join their unlimited wash plan and get free washes until the end of the month. Don't ride dirty. Check out PrestigeWash.com with 22 greater Boston locations. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Who made
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, 617-779. And Felger and Maz had J.J. Redick on yesterday. J.J. Redick, everyone hated him at Duke because he went to Duke. He wasn't as annoying in the NBA. And then he got annoying at the end. And now he's like a podcaster, so whatever. But he is the lead analyst on the NBA thing. And he was on Felger and Maz yesterday. Chad, go ahead.
Freddie T, Hardy, love the show.
Thank you, buddy.
I didn't wake up this morning planning to defend the shield of J.J. Redick, but here I go. I went to high school with him in Virginia. He's actually a really nice guy in person. He just has a chip on his shoulder. He's like very calculated, so he's probably paranoid of what to say because he's trying to get the Lakers job.
Yeah, but there's a way to see. Okay, like again, I realize that, but you know, there's a couple ways to handle it. Is ABC probably made him do like some local press, like for teams that might be in the finals. But the idea, like, there's a way to kind of juggle it and to navigate it without being a terrible guest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that JJ's a bad guy. I'm just saying he was a terrible guest yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. But now, of course, it's going to go like to the extent of where everybody's just ragging on him for like, you know, the small things. It's Felger and Maz. I mean, they can, you know, push buttons and they want the negative side of a lot of stuff. And I don't know. He's just a calculated guy. He has a chip on his shoulder and he's trying to get the Lakers head coaching job. And
do you think he's going to get it?
Step in the mud.
Do you still talk to him?
No. Like I'm friends with his family on Facebook and all, but no, like, but I'm just saying in person, really nice guy. I'm defending the shield of JJ right now.
Well, fantastic, Chad. There you go. The shield of JJ. And I understand that Felger and Maz are in the business of being interesting. Mm-hmm. So, like, how dare they? They're being interesting. But this was not on them yesterday. JJ Redick came on again. I don't think they didn't like call his cell phone while he was in the car and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm on the radio." This is a guy who's selling a product. I mean, he came on to sell a product. Again, the only thing that you're asked as a guest is to be somewhat interesting. Even if just be interesting, like, and have an opinion of some sort, even if you disagree with it. Or if you don't have an opinion, be funny.
But this is like instructions or tips for somebody who doesn't know how to talk either on TV or on the radio or on a podcast. And J.J. Redick is fully aware of what's required.
Oh, sure.
Like, you know, he should have known what to do, but instead it's just this really odd vibe that he gives off.
All right, so here is, and you really can't put this on Felger and Maz. Here is J.J. Redick on Felger and Maz yesterday.
JJ, if they, as I'm sure you know, there's been like a pass-fail sort of all-or-nothing approach or perspective on this season. They either win it or they don't. It's been, you know, pass-fail, for lack of a better term. If they were to not win the championship, why do you think it'll be?
If they don't win the championship, it'll be because the better team won.
That's just being a dick.
Well, that's in and of itself, okay, I heard that and I'm like, okay, bit more. What do you mean? Do you think the Celtics aren't the best team?
So let's give them that chance.
Yeah, we'll
maybe
give them a
there's
chance.
more. Maybe there's more on top of this.
I'm not in the business of giving anyone a chance, first of all. And second of all, he's being a dick.
You've never been given a second chance. Why would you give anyone else an additional chance, Fred?
Yeah, good point, Hardy. And I've never given anyone a second chance, ever. Or a third, or fourth, or fifth chance. I never put up with anything. All right, here we go. Let's give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I got my eye on you, too.
There you go.
Right, I'm watching. Let's
Judas.
go.
You need to
You
adopt a little bit more of a hippie mentality. Just a tiny bit.
Oh, be a complete hypocritical douche, racist.
Hippie hypocrite. What? Oh, whoa. You just blew my mind. You just blew it wide open. Hippie is short for
If you're just joining us, there's no one more vitriolic and phony than hippies.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing to insult someone, but it would be like peace and love. I'm a Buddhist. Like, I've expanded my mind. I'm so progressive. And
Give me my gun.
And then they're going to be like, and then you say something they don't like, and they're like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to pee on your grave. You're a pedophile. Yeah. Like, these, like, if you throw out pedophile, guess what? It's on your mind too much.
Call somebody Hitler. You might as well. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
so progressive. The government is just, it's a tool of the corporations. Guns and everyone's got guns and I'm above it. Go kill yourself. All right, hippie. Go into a more insular, like lily white way of life and make it your whole existence, dum-dum. A band that is, all the members are in their 90s. All right, here we go.
If they don't win the championship, it'll be because the better team won.
I think one of the ways the Celtics lose, JJ, is that they shoot themselves out of a game. And I've seen them do that over and over and over again. Lose to teams that are not as good as them because their shot selection, their play style, the reliance on the three-point ball. Tatum feels like one of the worst defenders based on the percentages and what I see. And so that's just something that we scrutinize. If you think that's...
Oh, it's fair. That's your job to scrutinize.
Then what's your job? Your job is to scrutinize.
You're an NBA analyst.
What's the point if you just sit? You're not just sitting there.
No, he gave you his analysis. If the Celtics lose, that means the better team won.
Can you imagine that? Like okay, so
now it's pissing me off.
So yeah, right. So Mike Breen goes, all right, Celtics up on Dallas. Tatum with the layup. Oh, and one. He's going to the line. That's 3 points. They're up 3 points.
Better team's winning, Mike.
Yeah. Well, right now the Celtics are playing better, as evidenced on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Better team's winning. They've made more shots tonight.
Derek White, by the way, is 3 for 3 from 3. Yeah, Derek White is shooting 3-pointers tonight.
He's pretty good.
I mean, this is literally Major League. This is the color analyst in Major League.
Drop money. That's right.
I mean, he really is.
I think that's...
Oh, it's fair. That's your job to scrutinize. I tend to believe in like a 7-game series. They're the number one 3-point shooting team in the postseason for attempts and makes. That's how they play. That's their identity. That's built into it. It's one of the reasons they're successful. They manage their shot profile. They manage the other team's shot profile. And eventually, in a 7-game series, you would assume that the odds say math works, right? Math works.
Everyone run to ABC.
I thought he had sucked all the fun out of the conversation of basketball beforehand. Now, shot profile, leaning into your own shot profile and guarding against the other team's shot profile, and over the course of a 7-game series, the math works. Oh, my God. Oh, that's insufferable.
And so if I'm ABC, like, look, what's the big deal? He's just on local radio. But if I'm ABC, I'm like, you just now no casual fan. Because say someone listens to Felger Maz and they're primarily a hockey fan, which is possible. We're the home of the Bruins. And like they're on the fence of like if they care about the finals. The road up to the finals so far with the Celtics has been rather, pedestrian. And you could buy tickets to game 1 of that Cleveland series for not the Cleveland series, the Indiana series for like $100, and they're like trying to sell it, and your color analyst, like the reason you're paying these guys so much money is because they're supposed to bring in casual fans, and the guy's analysis is the better team won. And with the 3-pointer shot profile, and I believe in a 7-game series.
I'm not telling JJ Redick what to say, but I can tell you what I would like to hear, which kind of goes in line with what I think. If you're talking about, let's say, Celtics and Dallas playing in the finals together, all right, why would Dallas end up winning that series? Well, here's why: Luka Doncic ends up going supernova in 2 of those games, where the shot profile and the defensive mindset and anything else you do doesn't work. He's able to take a game over, and he's also able to free up Kyrie Irving, who has one of these emotionally uplifting games, and he rises to the occasion, and they catch the Celtics on a night where they just can't do anything.
Oh, okay.
That's how I think the Celtics end up losing a series.
I heard an analyst say this. They're like, who would you want to play if you're the Celtics? And he goes, I wouldn't want to play Dallas. And he goes, why? And he goes, because they have the one superstar that they can't defend. There's nothing they can do on him.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I think that's a healthy analysis.
Well, no, it's an analysis.
Right.
You're not asking for him to be right. You're
Right.
asking for him to analyze.
But he
so
gives
what
you
I
shot
heard.
profile.
The guy goes, I wouldn't want to play Dallas. Why? He goes because they have the biggest superstar, and that's Doncic. And I don't believe that no matter what they do on him, that they can effectively shut him down. And that's a guy that can take that I believe can take the last shot in a close game. And that's interesting to me. So what he's saying is he doesn't think Anthony Edwards is someone they can't stop. He doesn't think Karl Anthony Towns is someone they can't stop. That he doesn't think Kyrie Irving is someone they can't stop. I wouldn't want to play Dallas because Doncic, in my opinion, can win a series. He's that good. Now, is he right? Who cares? You're not coming on to predict the future. If you did, then we'd all bet and wouldn't have to work anymore, and society would fall apart.
Reddick is already focusing on his next job. I mean,
I hope he doesn't get it.
Well, he's conducting this interview to not piss anybody off.
Yeah, well,
that's the thing.
Well,
that goes against what it is he's paid to do.
Well, if his idea was not to piss anyone off, John, he failed miserably because it's not just me and you and Hardy that was annoyed by him. You can listen to it on the podcast.
All right, not piss anyone off in the NBA.
Right?
How about
sure,
that?
Sure, that's what you're talking about. And then he's useless as a commentator.
Of course, but he's already one foot out the door. Obviously, there's something to this Laker thing. He's 1 foot out the door. He's conducting these interviews as if I'm going to be the Lakers head coach. There was, at the very end of that interview, which we now don't have time for, but at the very end of that interview, Felger asked him to rank the coaches that were left. You know, Jason Kidd, Joe Mazzulla, and who's the other guy? Chris Finch. And he wouldn't do it.
No.
Because he's afraid, okay, I got to face these guys at some point. I don't want to piss them off.
And you're coming on as an analyst, which is you're not coming on as a head coaching candidate. That would be understandable. You're trying to get a job as a head coach, but you're coming on. They didn't put a gun to your head and go, come on the show. They're saying to him, listen, can you come on? You're the ABC probably asked them to have him on. It's like I don't understand. Like I'm doing you a favor. Like no, you're selling your product. This is an exchange. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you know this, but when we have guests on, there's a benefit for the guest. Like for instance, we're having Mark Daniels on to talk about minicamp. Mark Daniels is nice enough to come on the show, but the idea is that people will go to Mass Live and read Mark Daniels. That's the thing. We push people to his website. The website makes money, and that's the way it works. They're not coming on philanthropically. Well, Gorman does now, but Gorman because he gets a kick out of it. But and he gets gift cards. But really, there is an exchange.
Yeah.
They're promoting something. He's promoting his coverage of the finals. Anyway, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sport.
Fair Tire Studio, the home of the Bruins, Patriots, Revs, and Celtics.
Come on, Maxi step back. Three is good.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, an easily media group station. Sports Hub headlines.
The Celtics remain on a long break as they await the winner of Dallas and Minnesota in the NBA Finals a week from tonight. The Mavericks visit the Timberwolves tonight, leading the Western Conference Finals 3-1. The LA Clippers have signed head coach Ty Lue to a 5-year, $70 million contract extension, and interim head coach Brian Keefe has gotten the permanent job with the Washington Wizards. Turning to the Patriots, Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore, and Josh Uche were among the missing at OTAs yesterday. Gerard Mayo is leading the Patriots for the first time, and like everyone else on the field, he is learning too.
Look, we're all being evaluated. I'm being evaluated. The players are being evaluated, and hopefully everyone's open to feedback. Stacey just told me some things I did wrong the last time I was up here, so it's all good.
Mayo will lead his first ever mandatory minicamp beginning on June 10th. The Baltimore Orioles got 5 in the bottom of the second, and that was more than enough to beat the Red Sox 6-1 last night at Camden Yards. Gunnar Henderson's grand slam, the big hit of the night. The Red Sox will pitch Nick Pivetta this evening in the opener of a 4-game series against Detroit at Fenway Park. Edmonton beat Dallas last night 5-2. The NHL's Western Conference Finals even at 2 games apiece. And Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 in the 5th and deciding game to win the very first professional Women's Hockey League championship last night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail this spring. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke or Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
You want to talk sports? We want to talk sports.
Squeeze the chicken and open the mouth.
It's like we were meant for each other.
This is why you need us.
98.5 The Sports Hub. You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Taking it is just very quickly is that it ceases to amaze me that the most hypocritical people on the planet are hippies. One thing I don't like is phony baloney, if I may be so bold and so blue. And what they do is they mark themselves as these above it all progressives that are spiritually awakened, and we're taking these hallucinogens to get ourselves closer to God, and through these experiences we've realized we're all just on the same team. We're all just cells created by a power floating into the universe in a beautiful blah 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 blah. And then the minute you say something they don't like, they are the most vitriolic, hateful people on the planet. Just awful. They'd be the first ones to go like, "Oh, take away his guns, take away his guns," and then they tell you to go shoot yourself, and that they're going to pee on your grave, and they're just awful. And then you'll go you'll see something, and it would be so nasty that you'll click on it. Because look, like a QAnon guy, he goes like, "Hey, go kill yourself," then you're like, "Hey, you're a QAnon guy, you hate everything." Or, someone just goes like, "You suck, you're not funny." And you go, "That's a valid opinion." I do that all the time. We all do. You're just critiquing something. That's your opinion. I'm never going to listen to you again. I mean, that's a shame, but, that's obviously valid. You're an a-hole. True, I am. There's no question about it. I mean, the things I say sometimes are very push past. I'm comedically trying to push past things, and there is repercussions to that. But what I do not like is when I'll see something so vitriolic and so like pedophilia. You see, you're a pedophile, something weird, and I'll click on it, and it will be like hippie Jim and hey, just chilling at the Goose Show, hey da 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 da. Well, and what you've done is you put yourself in a bubble of other affluent whites where you can point the finger at everyone else for being a problem, but in reality you are worse than anyone that you are judging. Let's go to Bus. Bus, go ahead.
Guys, good morning. Just want to give you a little background if you'll indulge me. Grew up as a deadhead, grew up as a juggalo. I was really torn on who I identified with. But I spent a lot of time in both scenes, and I can tell you by far the hippies are just the worst of the worst people. Just from my experience, like I said, I've been spit on. I've been called a racist, whatever, just for standing somewhere.
Right.
The juggalos, they'll help you. They just want to belong, and the hippies are just entitled. for the most part, and
Okay.
it's sickening.
Okay, so
I just
Buzz,
have to
let me tell you this. Okay, so I know people that have gone to like the Juggalo thing. Juggalo are ICP fans, and they're often
I've
mocked.
been multiple times.
Right, okay. And they've gone with the intention of mocking the experience. Jim Norton, my friend Jim Norton, the comedian, did it with the intention of
that.
which this is going to suck. This is awful. And what happens is that the Juggalos are these disenfranchised kids that have, from oftentimes terrible backgrounds, that have found themselves and found a community together that people make fun of, and despite all of it, they've bounded together, and it's actually something that is it's almost like the punk scene or any cultural movement that even though it's mocked, I understand what you're saying, Buzz. That these are people that at the end of the day have each other's backs, right?
They just want to belong, and anyone will help you. I've seen someone help someone wipe at the gathering. It's a great time. I've been to Bonnaroo. I've been to Gathering of the Vibes down in Connecticut. It's no more. It's just hate. You weren't here for that, so you don't know this, or I know this better than you. It's just very sour people, and I just feel like the Juggalos get a bad rap. You can go to the gathering, and if you want to poke fun, try to mock, mimic, whatever, you're going to end up having a good time.
Well, I know that to be a fact because I have friends that are comedians that have played the gathering and they went with every intention of hating and it ended up like appreciating it for what it was. No, the thing about hippies is that they're for the most part entitled people from incredibly privileged backgrounds that are at a point where they point and ridicule people with that they feel are beneath them. Minorities, people of lesser economic standing. And then when the rubber meets the road, they are as fascist and as capitalistic as your worst enemy. They are the monopoly guy, and which is fine. And believe me, I went to Rollins. Like I have plenty of friends from very privileged backgrounds, and that's great. And some of them are funny and awesome guys, but don't pretend to be this superior progressive being with this spiritual awakening and this understanding of the world when the rubber meets the road and you hear something you don't like, you're so used to getting your way that you react and lash out violently. And violently in like an anonymous verbal way. Not violently because you're all a bunch of pussies. So not like a
chill,
violent
man.
way.
Chill.
Like, that's the thing is that, like, dude, you just got to go to a show.
Yeah.
It's just this,
chill out.
everyone just hangs out, man. And then, like, you'll take acid and just, like, you'll get to this different thing and you'll realize that it opens this part of your brain where you realize we're all the same. Well, I feel this way about this issue. Go kill yourself, pedophile. Go kill yourself. No, when I was at boarding school in Vermont, like, all right. It's real easy when when the trust fund kicks in and you have all these progressive values, but you're not used to being told no because the butler never told you no. The caddy at the country club never told you no. And so, like, when you hear something you don't like, okay, go after yourself. Go screw yourself. Real easy to wear a tie-dye to the Grateful Dead tie to the the fundraiser. And so much for the Grateful Dead with all the really hardcore senators and people on the Supreme Court at there. Real counterculture. Don't put yourself up as a counterculture icon. Do you people, the hippies? You never cease to your incredible phoniness and insincerity. It never ceases to amaze me. You're really, for the most part, a terrible group of people. And I'm talking about people who this is their identity. I don't care what band you like. They're terrible, but like that's your own business. I'm talking about you wrap yourself up in an identity. You're phony baloney. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh, hopefully you won't hear from them for a long, long time.
Oh, I love hearing from them. It makes me excited.
Yeah.
I love hearing from them. Oh, you don't think I love it? You don't think I love it? I'll read you some of these things.
No, I know that you love it, but
all right, let me see.
I've had enough. Fred, I've had enough of the railing
Fred,
against the hippies.
I think dwelling on this isn't going to be healthy
I've
for
had
anyone.
enough of the railing against the hippies for a show.
I think we've done it all 3 hours. I think dwelling on this isn't going to
All
help.
right,
anyone.
this is the final call. Tony, go ahead.
I've hit my limit.
Tony, go ahead.
Freddie, Robbie. So seeing you as you guys are both Michigan guys, I wanted to make the point. I have relatives in Ann Arbor and in Grosse Pointe. Michigan hippies, by far the worst. And I wonder if that's why you have such a vitriol against them.
Yeah, I definitely have something against the Ann Arbor hippies. And it's funny that you mentioned Grosse Pointe because that woman I was talking to you about earlier who goes to Burning Man to sell her lemonade, I believe her home is in Grosse Pointe or Grosse Pointe Shores.
Oh.
So that's that tracks perfectly.
All right, I will drop the hippie argument for today. You guys can all take a deep breath. Mark Daniels will be joining us.
It'd be better if you got some pushback, but I don't think anybody disagrees with you.
That's why I'm enjoying this. I feel like I'm talking to my people.
Yeah.
I think everyone shares this opinion with me. I think everyone really does, but I'll stop. I will get off my. It wasn't 3 hours. We talked about.
No,
JJ
you
Redick.
spoke about it in all 3 hours.
Oh yeah, because I had to sprinkle it.
That was 20 minutes to start the show.
Yeah.
It was another unscheduled 10 or 11 here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Fair
a
enough.
That's a lot.
I think you've done your job.
Note taken. I will move on.
Okay. Can you?
I can.
Okay.
When I get on a soapbox, Johnny, it's very hard to knock me off.
I understand.
You got
that.
self-righteous Freddie T going
I've
right
had
now.
front row seats for that for a while.
You
I'm
got
aware.
self-righteous, I'm right, you're wrong, Freddie T.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We will have Mark Daniels on, and he will talk about the Patriots, and I will stop boring you with my take on the hippies.
Felt awfully personal.
Oh, it's entirely personal. Oh, I'm a very flawed human being, Hardy, but I don't hide behind an identity other than what I am, and that's not good. But nonetheless, I'm better than hippies. All right, that's it. I won't say hippie again for the rest of the show. Okay. I just wanted to, and pro Juggalo, make that note. All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah, me too. I want that out there. Down with the clowns.
Thank you.
You don't want them against you.
No sirree, Bob. They're violent.
Violent Jay.
All right, we'll be back.
Toucher and Hardy.
in Boston on June the 6th.
The march to Banner 18 begins in Boston next Thursday night. Hear every minute of the Celtics in the finals, brought to you by Amica Insurance, right here on your home for Boston Celtics playoff basketball. 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're back with Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher. Daniels covers the Patriots for MassLive.com. And they were in action yesterday. Drake May on the field, along with Jacoby Brissett and your main man, who did not like Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. He joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Mark Daniels, hello, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Thank you. It's very good to talk to you. All right. Talk about Drake May, where he is in the echelon of quarterbacks right now and how he looked yesterday.
Yeah, right now Drake is third. He took reps behind Jacoby Brissett, who's clearly, the number one, and he took reps behind Bailey Zappi, much to the chagrin of most Patriots fans. Yesterday's practice was interesting. They gave, I'd say, Bailey Zappi and Jacoby Brissett extended reps on full team drills, which is 11 on 11s, and Drake May had more of an extended look on 7 on 7s. And my sort of take on the situation is that they're really moving slow with Drake. They're not rushing anything in terms of his development, which is why, he's going third right now in the pecking order. Joe Milton wasn't there, which frankly made things easier because it's easier to split up things between 3 quarterbacks as opposed to 4. But one thing that did pop with me with Drake, like during 7 on 7s, he had like multiple highlight level throws. Like there were 2 deep balls, both to Tyquan Thornton. One was probably 30-ish yards. That was just like the arm strength on him is evident. I mean, and let's be honest, after watching, Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, over the last 2 years, it's very clear the Patriots like strong arm quarterbacks now, and Drake May definitely is that. But also the way he rolls out of the pocket has been interesting. Like, for example, there was a play yesterday where he was trying to fit the ball into a tight window to Juju Smith-Schuster. He almost threw like sidearmed, and it was sort of unique. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the teaching point, but he did it to sort of get it around the linebacker. And I thought it was kind of cool. And then he had another one. It was almost like the pass rush got by the O-line. He like moved up in the pocket and threw this like no look, like basically sidearm pass to a guy in the flat. It was a receiver named Kwon Baker. It was a really cool play. And Jacoby Brissett like runs on the field and daps him up. And he basically explained after practice that was something that like Drake had messed up earlier, like trying to get the ball out quickly, avoiding the pass rush. And when he did it, he made him real excited. So, I'd say they're taking him slow but steady. The talent it's pretty obvious in terms of his like, physical skill set. But right now, yeah, third in the pecking order, which I think a lot of us hope that changes by, the time August comes.
Mark, I was watching interviews with Bailey Zappi, and Zappi told you guys, we've been told all 3 of us are going to be able to compete to be the man. It seems to me like, at least for now, Gerard Mayo's already made up his mind who's first, who's second, and who's third.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's, and I'd say this for like all the positions too, like it's been sort of noteworthy that they're having veterans across the board taking the majority of the snaps, and rookies are really going to have to earn their way. I do wonder how much that changes after the spring. I know now it's like they kind of call it like learning camp. Guys are learning the playbook and all this stuff, but I would be surprised come August if there wasn't some movement on the depth chart at like tackle and guard and even at receiver. Like at receiver, like honestly, they're playing all the veterans over, a lot of these guys, Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, who was phenomenal yesterday. So yeah, right now, I mean, Jacoby Brissett is clearly the starting quarterback. It'll be fascinating to see what happens with Bailey Zappi though. And even if he's on the roster come August, because, Gerard Mayo said they want to pare down the roster of quarterback and they want 3. So to me, that says, they're going to move on from Bailey Zappi. But right now, he's the number 2.
Okay, so you said everyone wants this to change. I don't know if that's the case, Mark, because if you're talking about Drake May being 3rd on the depth chart, I know Fred is firmly in the camp of not wanting Drake May to be the backup because if things inevitably go south, say for Jacoby Brissett, then you're putting Drake May into a situation like we've seen many times. I mean, most recently, I guess it would be Zach Wilson, but you can name any number of quarterbacks who have been held out for a certain period of time in their rookie season, and then whenever plan they have to have a starter to kind of bring them along doesn't work, then you put him into a system that's not working, and things get frustrating for him and for the offense as a whole, and it could actually do more damage. So I don't know if you're in lockstep with everybody when you say that you want Drake May to move his way up the depth chart, not right away anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think for me, it's more about reps. And I think with Drake, the number 3 overall pick, he needs more reps come this summer. So I get what you're saying. Like if they want to keep Bailey Zappi on the roster and have him be the backup to let Drake learn, fine. But in August, Bailey Zappi shouldn't be getting more reps than Drake May because they really need to develop him. And the easiest way to develop someone is just to let him practice. And really come the regular season, like teams are game planning and preparing. So I think it's harder to develop guys like in the months between like September and January because these practices are like, they're split up between, all right, today we're working on our first down plays, second down plays, third down plays. They're not going to be like, all right, Drake, go to a different practice field and work on all this stuff. Really for him, in terms of his development, it is August. I think for me, I want to see him bumped up above Zappi in terms of like, all right, I don't want to see Bailey Zappi getting more reps than Drake May on 11 on 11s. And I get that happened yesterday, and it's a quick snapshot for us. But I just think they really need to, hammer this kid this summer with more of these drills, before the regular season starts. And I have no problem with them sitting him. I think they should. I think they should sit Drake for the year. And my one bold claim right now about Jacoby Brissett is that he'll be the best quarterback the Patriots have had since Tom Brady, which isn't saying much, but I think the post-Tom Brady era, like honestly, Jacoby could be a slight upgrade over everyone they've had.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. I think that's a very good analysis. I think that, Cam Newton sucked after the first game, and we know the limitations of Mac Jones. I think Jacoby Brissett is a better physical quarterback than Mac Jones and has more experience now. So, it isn't broken mentally. So I completely agree with you. When it comes to Drake May, and this is just, going into the future, what is your feeling of like, okay, so I definitely, on the point of him being a backup, I think the worst case, like if you're going to start him, give him starters reps. If you're going to not do that, then I just think the worst case scenario is Brissett getting hurt and then May having to come into a game, without getting those first team reps in practice. But do you think that, say the Patriots, they've won 3 games, it's going into the last 2 games of the season. Is it important to get tape on May? Like, would you want to see him in a real game before the end of the season? Is it worth, you've given him like all those weeks of practice. Do you think it's worth giving him a shot at the end of the year?
Yeah. And I believe like going back to even like Kansas City with Pat Mahomes, like Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith the entire year, but they give him that last game just to play. I would definitely subscribe to that with Drake May. I think you could even argue too, like they have such a late bye week. I wonder if the Patriots would feel comfortable in letting him start like the last 3 games. Now the one issue with that is like 2 out of the 3 are Buffalo, which are kind of tough matchups. Although that final game, Buffalo might not be playing too many starters. But, yeah, I think the Patriots should sit Drake May, and I think they should try to play him 2 or 3 games by the end of the year just to give him a feel. And with the late bye week, too, I was actually talking with Phil Perry about this a couple weeks ago. Phil, we're sort of debating, like, well, what if they started him before the bye week, right? And then he has a week off to sort of digest what he has. Then he has the final 3 games. Like, yeah. So I'd like to see Drake sit, but I would like to see him get at least 1 game under his belt just to give us a taste and give him a taste. I think that could go a long way into his first full off season.
All right. Anything else that you're noticing from camp that's impressive? Anyone showing a little bit that is caught your eye?
Yeah, honestly, Tyquan Thornton redemption arc is here. I think we're all ready to get hurt again.
That when I see it. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's I'd say yesterday Tyquan and Javon Baker were the best receivers on the field, which maybe that's not saying much, but Tyquan had like 2-3 catches that sort of made you say, "Wow, all right, he's bigger, he's still fast." Like he really, really popped. But the key with him, as we've seen the last 2 off seasons, is staying healthy. He got hurt last year making a diving catch. He got hurt in his first preseason, getting tackled. So if he can keep the momentum together, and when the pads come on, stay healthy when he gets hit, maybe he makes this team. But he's fighting for a roster spot, and he looks like it. But another guy who I would say made us stand up was Javon Baker. He made 2 great catches on Jacoby Brissett deep balls. That one was like probably 30-something yards for a touchdown, and another had this cornerback Marco Wilson right on his hip, and he jumped over him. That was really, really impressive. But it's passing camp. There's no pads. But yeah, Javon Baker and Tyquan Thornton, guys, they definitely popped yesterday.
Okay, because you say Tyquan Thornton, and does that take anything away from your Javon Baker analysis? Because Baker would be exciting for Patriot fans because they invested in him. Can you make? Do you think it's fair to say, all right, these guys look right now? You can certainly check their athleticism.
Yeah, well, I guess the 2 arguments is one, most of the starting cornerbacks aren't playing, so they're going up against Alec Austin and Marco Wilson and some undrafted free agents. But also I'll say this, that Jalen Polk and Juju Smith-Schuster have not popped. So all right, you got some cornerbacks who are not popping against backup cornerbacks, receivers. Then you have 2 receivers who are. So I guess it kind of goes both ways, So I guess in these moments, OTAs, you want to see guys pop like that because there are no pads, and again, they're backup defensive backs. But so far, I'd say they're doing more than the 2nd-round pick and your most expensive receiver.
The Patriots have a lot of, ho-hum wide receivers. They really don't have a number 1. I don't know what Polk is going to be. And I'm curious about Baker, though. He's done a lot of talking since he got drafted. This is a guy, if athletically he can't do it, at least has the opportunity to be interesting, right?
Yeah, and his ability to just go up and jump over people, I thought was really noteworthy yesterday. That's not something the Patriots have had, an actual X deep ball receiver. And Javon looked the part. And there was another play in full team drills. It was almost like a screen pass. And when he took off, he looked faster than anyone. And I didn't know he had that type of separation or yards after the catch ability. So I'm really excited about the 4th-round pick. But as Gerard Mayo told us last week, he's got to walk the walk after everything he said this year. And if he doesn't rise up to the challenge, it's not going to look good among his peers in the locker room, because if you're going to talk that much trash or boast about your abilities, you got to step up and you got to rise to the challenge. But so far he has, and yesterday was a really good step for the rookie.
One more question about this. There were a lot of people missing yesterday. You were talking about a lot of the cornerbacks aren't there. Matthew Judon's not there. Devon Godchaux, Christian Barmore. Is there any danger of any of these players not showing up for this mandatory minicamp in a couple of weeks?
I don't think so. Karen Gregan, my colleague, talked to Matthew Judon at a football camp last weekend, and he told her he would be there for minicamp. So I think the only person in danger of holding out would be Matthew Judon, because he wants more money. I mean, his base salary is it might be $6 million or something. So he clearly wants to be paid, but he's coming off a season-ending injury, so that's a delicate sort of dance, I guess, when it comes to contract negotiations. So yeah, I'd expect health, other than health reasons, everyone will be there at minicamp.
All right, Mark Daniels, excellent stuff as always. Read him in the masslive.com. It is the best. All right.
Awesome. All right, thank
it's
you.
The best.
It's the best.
Yes.
Nothing better.
Is that the tagline for the entire outfit there? It's the best.
I'm going to change my Twitter bio to "It's the best."
Yeah, good.
Cool.
You'll be the only one who's done it. I mean, no one else feels that way. All right. Not about you, but about themselves. All right. Mark Daniels, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Who did we get an email from this morning? But our friend D.A.
We did.
And this is a sincere D.A.
It was last night, yeah.
Yeah, and also this morning. But it's not, and this is not the character D.A. This is the actual radio host D.A. And this is pertaining to sport. Nice. He actually, he had an interview with someone from ABC to talk about how the video of the Bennett hit on Marchand took so long to get. how TNT, owned by ABC, how TNT got the video when they got it. We will have that for you. It's quite interesting. If you're wondering how this all came about, we'll have that for you in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
The NBA playoffs.
listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. We are brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. As we await who will be playing in the NBA Finals against your Boston Celtics. And we were talking about it earlier. Just waiting for this audio from DA to get in. We just have a minute to kill here, but it is good. Last night, Edmonton, they win. And so really, with this time off, John made the point, the NHL has an opportunity here to really make a statement. And the thing is that if it's the Rangers, Edmonton, this is now a very good situation for the NHL. Obviously, we all remember the 94 Ranger run with Messier. Now, this team isn't that team. I understand that. That was a very special moment. But this is, nonetheless, the New York market. In Edmonton, you watched them yesterday, John, and what was your takeaway?
It was another planet watching the Edmonton power play work as opposed to watching the Bruins try and cobble something together. I mean, it was McAvoy especially didn't have a good series, and he's quarterbacking the number one power play, and they tried moving Pastrnak all over the ice to try and get him free. He did score one power play goal on a one-timer, but watching Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl maneuver around and watching the Edmonton power play maneuver around. They didn't score last night, but it's exciting to watch them. For the Bruins, it's kind of like watching, this slow plodding guy try and run. It's just two different ways to play hockey. It's entertaining to watch Edmonton play even if they don't score. It's not entertaining to watch the Bruins play if you're not a Bruins fan.
And the thing is that by it being in New York, if the NHL Finals are in New York, it forces national people to talk about them. Like if you're listening for whatever reason to a national radio show, or you're watching even First Take or whatever the hell people watch or on YouTube, since all the media they feel that a lot of times New York is the only city that matters. Hence the fascination with this Knicks team that wasn't going anywhere. They'll at least pay attention to it. And then if you have eyes on it and two of the best players of the world are playing together in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Oh, there are storylines everywhere if Edmonton plays New York. The Edmonton story, how long has it been since a Canadian team won a Stanley Cup? And Connor McDavid is the best hockey player on the planet. You put him on a national stage, and there are people aren't paying attention now, but if Edmonton makes the Stanley Cup Finals, you put him in front of a worldwide audience of casual fans, I think hockey could do a really good job at promoting the sport here.
And Dan makes a good point. Messier is on the he's one of the analysts
on the broadcast.
One of the analysts, both teams.
That's
right. He's got to love New York though.
Do you know, sorry guys, the first game of the Stanley Cup Final is 2 days after game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Jeez.
All right, hey Hardy.
I got it.
Okay, here we go. So our friend DA, the real DA, not the dumb character I do, but the real DA is a friend. He's actually a tremendous guy. He's having a lot of success. He's on the Sirius satellite radio. He's got a fun partner, and they had on what's his name? John McEwen.
Yes,
Liam McHugh.
Liam, yeah. What's his last name?
McHugh.
They had Liam McHugh because if you'll recall, during the Bruins series, Bennett hit Pastrnak. It wasn't called on the ice, and then it was not called. There was no penalty for Bennett from the NHL, and then it was a couple days later, and all of a sudden this camera angle came out of Bennett throwing across to Marchand, which he obviously would have been suspended for. So how did this all go down? So DA had him on, and here's what he had to say.
I mean, we went on the air and we got video of Sam Bennett punching Brad Marchand in the face. The missing piece of video that no one could find mysteriously emerged an hour before we went on air. And that was just bizarre. I mean, it was like we had written it, but we didn't. But we didn't even know where we got it. And it was just sort of sent. And it said, this was always there. No one knew about it. They didn't check this. Guess what? Here it is. Then Sam Bennett comes on TV and he wants to talk about it, which is crazy. I couldn't believe he was willing to do that.
This adds JFK conspiracy layers to the NHL postseason. What happened?
No doubt. I mean, I am not sure that it was one of our cameras that caught it to start with. I can tell you that where Darren Pang stands, which is right in between the benches, that position, which is basically right in front of Bennett. We asked Pang, and he said, it's funny because I was looking like the same place Jim Montgomery was looking, which was where the puck moved. He's like, so I did not look at the play. He's like, they're going to hit each other. He goes, there's a camera right behind me. So we look at that film, and I'm not even kidding you. The stanchion right here, the camera hits it right when they hit. It was like, which was great because it's always added to the conspiracy. It was like Sam Bennett knew where the stanchion was.
Yeah.
It was like, that's the spot where I can make a hit. But I guess within, they have these highlight melts at the end of these things. And it was all the way at the back of a melt, the last piece of video. And it was sitting there, and someone's like, well, what is this?
So this is interesting because, again, they kind of purposely put it at the end of a highlight reel, but it was there the whole time, and the NHL must know that, where the cameras are, and they must request from various sources when they're trying to determine whether or not anything took place. Request from various sources all the angles so they can find out what happened, and they just never asked for this because it was there the whole time.
Do you know what a highlight melt is? Do you know what he's talking about?
Sounds like TV talk.
No.
Well, no, it's obviously TV talk, but is it like the league gives them this? This adds to the conspiracy, by the way, because is this thing like a league puts together of plays in like a couple days after the games? It's very strange.
Yeah, a little bit more.
And there it was, clear as day.
You didn't know that you had this footage, and you don't know who took it, and you don't know if it was your camera guy? I don't believe that.
I can tell you right now, I don't think it was ours. I don't think it was.
So what other TV broadcast could it have been? The Canadian
Well, I mean, there's certainly Canadian, there's certainly local, there's different cameras, but I don't think it was from one of ours. And if it was, it's just one of those things that, we were dying to see this.
Well, it wasn't a local broadcast because they weren't on locally.
Right.
So there's no way
it wasn't a guy in the stands because the video was far too good.
No.
It wasn't a guy with a phone following it.
No, it was a professional.
It wasn't a Florida Panthers camera because they do they televise? Do they have the local audience?
Well, it would be like yelling off a cliff. That once that's done, that's why you do it. That's the beauty of a live performance is that it will never be replicated. Like, you understand? Like when you go see a band, you see them because like this is a singular experience that can never be created again in the same way. So yes, Florida. I question Florida's record actually because there's really there's nobody that actually can vouch for that these things actually happen.
There's no record of the games. Yeah,
but this is another example of the NHL. As much as I love the NHL, being just such a JV organization. They are just such a step behind everyone else. And good for this guy going on DA and being honest. I love him. This is the opposite of JJ Redick. This is a guy who's really telling you what's going on. And he's being self-effacing, and he's like, I don't know. And he's by doing this building intrigue into his product, so he's actually selling it well. But this isn't on him. This is on the NHL because I want to give him props and thank you again to DA, who's a very cool guy, sending us this stuff. It's just another example of the NHL just being a step behind everything.
See, this is the danger of the NHL having a week to itself, that people will understand, this is why we don't want to watch this. There is some incompetence still there.
It's just the league. It's not TNT. It's just that, like, what professional sports league they're putting what they're Major League Baseball in 2 years might not even have home plate umpires because they've got computers to do it now. The NFL, I don't even understand what it is. They've got optical tracking that's gonna tell you when there's a first down and that's gonna spot the ball. We heard yesterday Gerard Mayo talking about how Drake May's putting on virtual reality glasses to learn how to read defenses. And the NHL's like sitting there with the typewriter and, a typewriter in the Pony Express getting their information out. Like, how can the NFL, like, they have satellites booming things from space, Martians are like flying down MIT in baseball. Like every dork out of MIT wants to get in to help crunch data. They're making the decisions. And the NHL's like, we've got paper. Hey guys, look what we found a couple days later. It was on Betamax on the floor. Like, where are you just finding this stuff? The NHL never ceases to be
which is
inferior
why, and we talked about it earlier, and we talked about it, right before we listened to this audio, as they have this opportunity now with the Rangers and Connor McDavid and the Oilers and everything that they could make a Stanley Cup final out to be, they will somehow not be able to harness the obvious excitement and the obvious marketing potential of like, here's this kid that we haven't seen anything like this in a while. He is going to be going up against the number one market in the country, in a storied franchise. And the storyline after storyline, you could put this thing out there.
Following in the steps of Wayne Gretzky. And Mark Messier, who's on the broadcast. This is the next Wayne Gretzky.
Although I wouldn't necessarily highlight a lot of Messier's, on-air stuff.
Okay.
Listen, at least he was there.
This is the next Wayne Gretzky trying to bring a Stanley Cup back to Edmonton.
Yeah, or Gretzky on the air for that matter.
That's a good point.
No, Gretzky doesn't have to do anything.
The hockey Joe Montana?
Well, thank God he doesn't have to do anything on the air, because whenever Gretzky
I would have
does
hired him
something
too.
on the air,
I would have hired him, just had him sit there.
Yeah,
essentially.
It's a good Tom Brady comparison. It's like, he's the greatest of all time. Just wait till he gets on TV. Like Gretzky? Okay.
No, Gretzky's literally paid to be Wayne Gretzky and just sit there. Like, the NHL needs that. He's the only NHL player ever.
But the
that
NHL
the world knows.
needs to be able to showcase and to show like casual fans. They need to get sports fans watching hockey, and you could do that when you have players like Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, and you're putting up against the Rangers, and you bring back the storylines of Gretzky and Messier and all this stuff. And what is your confidence level that the NHL will be able to do that if those teams face each other in the Stanley Cup?
Zero.
They're going to have like young Sheldon is going to be like the celebrity guest.
They're going to roll out Mike Myers.
That would be actually impressive.
Yeah.
I think you're giving them too much
Scene
credit.
from Mystery Alaska. Be perfect.
But yeah, it's going to be like, hey, everybody, we have the cast of Gimme a Break, the Surviving Crest.
And I know hockey fans kind of go back and forth as to how they act with stuff like this. I think sometimes they don't want anyone else watching their sport. Because
it's like an indie band.
Yeah, when they talk about it. But there's also like the Breaking Bad element to it also. If you're a hockey fan, sometimes you act like that Breaking Bad fan where it's not enough just to watch it and enjoy it. You have to get everyone else watching it too. And it seems to me this might be one of those matchups. If that's the matchup, they're going to want everyone to watch it. And I don't know that the NHL from a network marketing broadcast level is going to do anything to help that cause. I don't have confidence that they'll be able to pull it off.
Well, that's evident. I mean, how many times the Boston market is one of, even Detroit doesn't talk about the Red Wings a lot when they're not in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, we're one of, we might be the biggest U.S. hockey market that there is in terms of the way that we talk about the team. And you remember EEI never even talked about the Bruins.
Nope.
So this station probably talks more hockey.
Not until we came along.
For a popular, really, this is the most popular radio station in the country. It is. For the most popular radio station in the country, we talk more hockey than any other station I would imagine in the country, in the United States. And
maybe that guy in Toronto, the afternoon guy.
Are they in the
talks
United
more.
States?
No, what I'm saying is I'm leading into another. Never mind. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Continue.
And so, you need all the help you can get.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
That was not us that played that. That was the
Instead
guy
of
in
a
Toronto.
gas bag.
That was not us. That was the guy in Toronto.
That was a rant. Boo, 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 boo. Take that, Fred Toucher. Boo, boo.
High danger chances.
Yeah. A lot more civil in Canada, I can tell you.
That is the pain Toronto was built to inflict.
All right, there's 9 days between games. You know what that means. Liz.
A whole lot of nothing.
We have a list and a whole lot of nothing coming up on you. Couldn't sell it better myself. Well,
Boo, boo.
We'll return.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
Celtics, Bruins, Revs, and Patriots.
Touchdown, Patriots.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, Easily Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
1 week from tonight, the Celtics will host Game 1 of the NBA Finals at TD Garden, and their opponent is yet to be determined. However, it could be determined this evening. Dallas will visit Minnesota, leading the Western Conference Finals 3-1. The LA Clippers have signed head coach Tyronn Lue to a 5-year, $70 million contract extension. Patriots organized team activities continued yesterday in Foxborough. Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore, and Devon Godchaux among those not seen on the field. Mandatory minicamp is June 10th through the 12th. The Red Sox were beaten in Baltimore last night 6-1. Alex Cora's team did not do much with Orioles ace Corbin Burns.
He's one of the best pitchers in the league. He's 96, cut in. He used his breaking ball to get ahead. He is who he is. In those games, you have to grind with him. 103 pitches. For some young guys that we have, we put good at bats.
Burns allowed 1 unearned run and 3 hits over 7 innings for the victory for Baltimore. The Sox lose 2 out of 3 at Camden Yards. They're back home tonight to open up a 4-game series against Detroit. Nick Pivetta will start. Edmonton beat Dallas last night 5-2. The NHL's Western Conference Finals are even at 2 games apiece. And Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 at Tsongas Arena in Lowell last night in the decisive Game 5 to win their very first professional Women's Hockey League championship. Sports Hub headlines are proudly brought to you by the Massachusetts Energy Marketers Association, clean, renewable bioheat fuel. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Al Horford. This is Al Horford. Al Horford catching slam. Horford for 3.
You're listening to the home of Boston Celtics basketball, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the...
Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You can watch us on YouTube. Search 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And subscribe! I'm wearing aligners. Invisalign, I paid for them. And they told me to eat with them in. I don't, though. But I eat popsicles with them in. I enjoy popsicles, guys, on a hot summer day.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one of them popsicles. And I showed them to Hardy. They are the color of urine of a man that's taken many vitamins.
Cubba-dubba-doo.
I don't know what the two things have to do with each other. But they are yellow as the day is long. I'm not positive what this means for the health of my teeth, but Lord knows. They told me that my bones were shifting in my mouth.
Are they stained on the inside or just on the outside?
I don't know. They're clear. I don't know.
They're just stained on the outside. Yeah, I guess how would you be able to tell?
I don't know. Aaron Lewis came over and looked at them, so they've been stained by the.
Oh, well, it's been a while since your teeth were straight.
Now you tagged it, baby. All right, you know what it is.
List time. Listen up, it's list time. Everybody loves list time. It's not just a waste of time. Who's the best? Who's the worst? List time. Everybody loves list time. It's the best and worst things to find. So listen up, it's time for a list.
If the NBA is going to take all this time off, then we're doing some effing lists.
And we're going to do lists. Didn't have to start it again.
I'm not playing it.
We have a list of the 100 most watched TV series of 2023 into 2024. We have winners and losers, shows that did very well, shows that did not do as well as anticipated.
All right. Now, does this count streaming? I don't know how they count this.
So there is one show in particular in the top 3 that is absolutely streaming, and there is some discussion as to how that is measured here in this article from Variety.
I think that they cook the books, if you're asking me.
Well,
because if anything's on it from Peacock, I'm raising my hand and I'm questioning that.
It is unique in this particular platform's deal with the Nielsen rating, which measures let's call it the franchise, as it were a linear telecast.
So the nanny is what it focuses on,
which
is what otherwise known as the franchise, the Fran Drescher franchise.
Mm-hmm. No, it is not the nanny, but you can probably guess in terms of the top shows, which of the top 3 is actually a streaming show and a very powerful streaming platform. Got to deal with Nielsen to where they were able to be measured as a telecast.
All right, so we're not talking about sports. They don't count?
We are talking sports,
Oh,
yes.
well,
In
the
that
NFL
case,
is the top. It's
Sunday
gotta be-
night football, Monday night football, Super Bowl. What do we? Oh, that's not a series, but
No,
Sunday and Monday night
a
football.
streaming football franchise.
Amazon.
Thursday Night Football in third place as the most watched series of the 23-24 season.
And those
Thursday
were some
Night Football is
blockbuster
number 3.
games. I mean, that Thursday Night Football was exciting.
It just goes to show you the power, the true power of the NFL. My God.
And this is really nothing against Amazon or Netflix, although I don't like watching sports on either one of those platforms. I'm taking full ownership of it. I don't like watching it because I can't flip around. And I'm so manic and scatterbrained, I can't just have one show on and watch it. If it is one show, I will have my phone out, and anytime there is 10 seconds of someone walking and not talking, I'm looking at my phone. And if it's a football game, you better believe I'm flipping around. I'm flipping around when things get boring, and you can't do that when you're watching on Amazon.
I told you I tried to watch Baby Reindeer, and besides being fascinated after watching episode 4 as to why people are curious who the stalker is and not who the horrible, horrible man is, not the guy who wrote the show, but the man, the TV executive. I mean, all the stalker did was hang around.
Yes.
TV executive was a terrible person.
It drives me nuts when my kids do it too. And they're like, oh, what was that person? And they'll go to the info and they'll go down to the cast and they'll start looking. I'm saying, can't you just watch the show?
I can't.
Meanwhile, I'm doing the same thing, but I do it on my phone. I don't disrupt the screen for the rest of the people who might actually be watching.
But I can't even get through Baby Reindeer anymore because my attention span is so shot. Like I can't do anything. Like I could watch. I'll tell you what I could do. I could watch the Bruins playoffs. That I could sit through. For stuff that's been on in the last couple months. I can go to the movies and sit there at the movies and only look at my phone like twice. But I can't. I'm completely shot. I can't even get through that Baby Reindeer. I think it's a good show. But I can't even get through it because I can't sit still.
Well, Baby Reindeer, I don't see anywhere on this
No,
list.
it's not going to be on there. It's too artsy.
Why don't you guys tell me which finished number 1 and number 2? Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football
Sunday
was
was
number
one, yeah.
All right. Well, you're waiting all day for Sunday night. So
yes.
Oh, I love that song. I love the whole thing. What did they do with the racist fella? Why is he not doing it anymore? Oh, because he's racist.
All right, so 1, 2, 3 football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, 1, 2, 3. The 4th most watched show.
Okay.
All right. This is the 4th most watched television series of the 23-24 TV season.
Okay, I will make a bold prediction that I'll never have seen it, but Johnny Ballgame will be fan number 1. I'm thinking I think it's an hour-long drama.
It is a drama.
I think it's an hour-long drama. Is it an hour-long drama? Because it has to be, right? It's an hour-long drama. They don't make the half-hour.
It has to be. It is in its first year.
Okay.
This should be interesting.
I have a feeling that it's an hour-long drama. It's in a 9 or 10 o'clock slot on a major network, probably ABC.
It is not ABC.
CBS?
It is on CBS.
All right, fair enough. And I think it's on the Blue Bloods tip, but maybe not Blue Bloods. Does it star a hunk?
Oh, he is at the hunkified.
All right, was he on the show?
He is a hunk.
Yeah, you. Was he on This Is Us?
I don't know.
Is he blonde and muscular?
He is muscular. He appears to be a brown-haired fellow.
I have no idea what this is.
It premiered.
He was on This Is Us, isn't he? I have no idea that this. I know that the guy from This Is Us is on a show. It's the guy from This Is Us's new show.
The name of the show is Tracker.
What is that?
Justin.
It's just.
Justin Hartley is a survivalist
who was on?
Who I don't know.
Was Dan? Who was on?
Was he?
This is you are up.
I'd just no one has watched more TV than me in the history of the world. I don't even have to know what's going on.
Impressive.
Should I've been told I need to watch This Is Us.
It's a tearjerker.
I really don't think that's
Mandy Moore.
necessary. It's not necessary.
I'll tell you what, you'll never. They have one of those pots that you let stuff sit in. You know what do you call
Crock
them?
pot?
Crock pot lets the whole house ablaze, kills the whole lot of them.
Yeah.
First episode, they all die. No, but the guy with the jacked up mouth from Daddy's Home, Daddy's Boy is
Daddy
He
mouth?
dies.
Baby fish mouth?
Daddy mouth?
Daddy's the effing Adam Sandler movie with the kid from Saturday Night
I
Live.
thought we were going Chili Guy route. My mistake.
Sorry. I can do
Hubie Halloween?
yeah, it's Hubie Halloween. He's the guy from that, of course.
Daddy mouth.
Anyway, he helps law enforcement and others solve tough cases. Premiered right after the Super Bowl.
First season.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he's from This Is Us, and he's not hard on the eyes.
All right.
I mean, he's no bear, but we'll do what we can.
Gentlemen, what is the number one comedy of the 23-24 season?
I can
Young
tell you,
Sheldon.
I can tell you without a doubt, it is the triumph that is Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon.
You guys are good. It is in 6th place behind another hour-long CBS drama, long-running franchise.
Oh, that's Blue Bloods, baby. It's got to be Blue
No,
Bloods.
it's NCIS of some sort.
There you go, Fred.
NCIS is 5. Young Sheldon is 6.
Young Sheldon, I've heard the father dies brutally. I'm not lying. He dies, but Young Sheldon finally succumbs to his need to. He's so interested in science, and he cannot find a cadaver. So if you don't know, it's the penultimate episode. So Young Sheldon goes to the morgue and he tries to bribe the mortician to get a body. And the mortician goes, "Go screw, kid. I can't give you a body." So Young Sheldon, he's bloodthirsty at this point.
He just needs a cadaver for his studies.
Well, not even. He just needs a human body. Okay. And he's very well not going to be able to cut open and play with the organs of something that's alive. So he's killed all the cats in the neighborhood. He's sick of that. He's sitting in bed and it's playing boop boop boo doo doo doo, and Young Sheldon's sharpening this knife, and he's like, and he's sharpening this knife, and then he finds his dad asleep, and kaboop, and then he starts playing with the stuff, the organs and everything, and that's and then in the next one he goes off to college.
So Young Sheldon is a bit of a nerd, is what you're saying.
Nerdy bear. Behind the glasses, you a dirty bear.
And then it turns out that the Big Bang Theory was all a fantasy of Young Sheldon, who was actually in solitary confinement. It was like a St. Elsewhere situation.
Another 3-letter, hour-long drama on CBS is the 7th most watched show.
All right, another 3-letter drama. DUI. It's just it's a series of people driving intoxicated and getting away with it.
No, that would be FBI, Federal BI.
Wait, aren't there are like 6 FBI shows on now, right?
I don't know.
That's above my pay grade.
You mentioned Blue Bloods. That comes in at number 9.
Yeah.
Cops falling short of the firefighters on the NBC drama, coming in at number 8, known as the Firefighter NBC drama, 8th most watched television
Fire
program in the
Country? Is that it?
No,
Is it Fire Country?
It's not Fire Country.
It's got the guy from the good show that was about the morticians on it, though. Yeah, I know what it is. I don't know what the name of it is. I've never seen it.
Chicago Fire.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't have that guy in it.
Maybe the longest running TV show ever.
60 Minutes.
Yeah, it's number 10. Very good. And then a show that we've talked about here about CBS absolutely owning the top 11 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the top 11 there, it looks like. Or at least 7 of them. A 30-minute sitcom, I think. I haven't watched it. It's supposed to be kind of funny.
Young Matlock?
No, but isn't there a
Oh, is
female?
it-
Isn't there a female Matlock
Yeah,
TV
it's
show
called
now?
Murder, She Wrote. It
No,
was just a
there's
poor
no.
rip-off of that. Is it Abbott Elementary? Because that's a highly...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Abbott Elementary is praised, universally praised. I've seen Abbott Elementary.
Any
That's
good?
the guy from Everybody Hates Chris.
The show
I
is-
haven't given it. I haven't given it a chance.
The
really.
show is called Ghosts.
Well, I have no idea what that is.
It's called what?
Ghosts.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's the Young Sheldon spinoff of his father. He
Ab-
comes to wreak vengeance.
Abbott Elementary, all the way down at number 56.
But you guys know that that's supposed to be like the greatest, right?
Yeah, I've seen.
But
she's
it,
written on
it
write-ups on
falls behind the Connors at 54, Station 19 at 55, and even gets beat out by repeats of Yellowstone, which came in at number 53.
Which is unfair because it. Why didn't he just get a Sonic Waves to break it up before he passed it? Hey-oh! I'm talking. See, this is why we do these lists, so I can tell these horrible, horrible jokes.
Fire Country, by the way, came in at 19.
Oh, there you
Right,
go.
which is a dating show for redheads in Nebraska.
Let me bet you $1 million and give you 1 million guesses to come up with the CBS drama, I'm guessing, that came in at number 17, ahead of FBI Most Wanted, but behind NCIS Hawaii.
Is it just a bunch of letters?
It might as well be. The name of the show is Elsbeth.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never even, and I'm a dork, and I've never even heard of that. I have no life.
Finished very close to The Equalizer, which is the Queen Latifah.
Oh, yeah.
The Equalizer, which isn't even an original idea. The Equalizer is based on another bad show that was called The Equalizer. Like, can you imagine you just ran out of, like, you can't come up with, like, if she's a detective or a cop or a criminal, like, you couldn't come up with any other unique thing. Like, you know what? We got to just keep this Equalizer thing going.
But let me tell you something, and you'll never watch it, Fred, so this is lost on you. I'm going to direct my focus over here to Mr. Wallach.
Yes.
That Denzel Washington Equalizer series, oddly
Great.
watchable.
Yes,
The first
very good.
The first one I saw it on like TNT one day. I'm like, what the hell is the Equalizer?
Oh,
This was years ago when I first turned it on. I'm like, oh, I really like this
Yeah,
movie.
the second one is pretty good, too.
The third one is excellent.
Oh, I have not seen the third
Oh,
one.
I
Second
celebrate
one
the
is good,
entire
too.
franchise.
The mistake you made is you killed my friends. I'm going to kill each and every one of you, and the only regret I have is I only get to do it once.
There you go.
Great
Yeah.
line from Equalizer 2.
You should watch it, Fred.
I mean,
Start with the first one, though. I don't want you to be lost.
I mean, he'll always be.
So you must watch them sequentially, or you're going to miss everything.
He'll always be Dr. Phillip to me from St. Elsewhere.
Is that before or after Carbon Copy?
I don't know. I don't have his IMDb up.
I didn't even have to pull up the IMDb. Are you kidding? I believe that was the comedy with 1991. Oh, George Siegel.
Oh, I love George Siegel. He's passed. I do love George Siegel. He was on Just Shoot Me. I'm a big George Siegel fan.
Well, there you go.
He loved the banjo. Jesus. Would you like me to give you more information about Siegel? He was on the Goldberg.
Now we're right up against it here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was a list.
List time. Listen up, it's list time. Everybody loves list time. It's not just a waste of time. Who's the best? Who's the worst? List time. Everybody loves list time. It's the best and worst things to buy.
We got emails, Fred.
So listen up, it's time for a list.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
No, I've gotten a few. I'll read them all to you. If I read them as they stand, I would be out of a job in 10 seconds because they glorify violence like you wouldn't believe. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with our award-winning email segment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
No, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, everybody. It is the email segment. You can email us. What's your email, John?
John at 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Jon.
Jon, no H.
And Hardy, what is yours?
Hardy at 98.5thesportshub.com.
I'm Toucher, Toucher at 98.5thesportshub.com. You can Instagram me. Read my comments on Instagram if you ever liked people. At Fred Toucher. This is from Brett. It says, this is for John without the H.
Yeah.
Just wondering what your Twitter handle would be if you didn't make the incredibly miscalculated mistake of calling it at Craig Griffey Rules. He doesn't write that, but he just says if you could change it, what would be your Twitter handle if you could go back in time?
At BubbleButt69.
Oh, no.
Did you see that plane that Nick tweeted
I did.
out?
I retweeted it. I thought that was genius.
It looked like a big old butt.
Yep.
If you were on, so Nick tweeted out this picture of a plane. The backside of it looks like a big ass.
Yep.
Like there's no denying it. It does. It's almost like it was done specifically to look that way. Would you have a compulsion to jump out of the plane, John, to get behind it?
No, I might board it differently, but no.
Would you refuse to put on an oxygen mask if there was a cabin pressure issue because it was as close to being smothered as you could get in that situation?
Very good.
It's one of them hypothetical deals.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, go ahead.
First off, I hope Hardy has come down off the orgasmic scream of ecstasy from hearing that all charges against his boo Scotty have been dropped. No justice, no peace, right, Hardy? Yeah, we'll be getting to that in the stack. But Freddie, you're 1,000% right about hippies.
I thought you weren't bringing it up again. I wasn't going to read them.
Okay.
It looks like there's more than one hypocrite amongst us. Go ahead.
Move to paragraph 4 of the email.
No, go ahead. Read it. I'm just playing.
They're the first ones in a neighborhood to put up a fence if a non-white family moves in next door. And also see what all the rich hippies did in the vineyard last year when the migrants were sent there. Oh, boy.
Yeah, they want all these things to happen, but just not to them. They're idealists until it affects them. Yes, that's my point. There's no more hateful group of people hiding behind the veneer of being progressive, spiritually conscious people than hippies.
I have one more hippie.
Just go to @FredToucher and read the comments specifically from hippies.
Here's one
Fish
from
fan 2001 who goes, "Tell me to kill myself."
Here's the one from Brian. To the hippie who beat up Fred. Look, I understand. I'd be lying if I told you the thought of beating up Fred hasn't crossed my mind. But, dude, for the love of God, just call the show and apologize. You may be unaware of the fact when you kicked Fred's ass, you left him with boo-boos not only his wonderfully punchable face, but on his tender little heart as well. Now he's having a sad and will not shut up. That's my favorite line. Now he's having a sad. Please, hippie, take one for the team and save us all. I implore you, call and apologize and try to sound sincere.
I will address several topics issued in this email, as this seems to be its intent. Is that I could see wanting to hit me. I'm not. I realize what I say sometimes is punchable.
But you don't have that Bobby Valentine punchable face.
No,
so I disagree with that.
No, people see it. They feel sorry for me when they see it. They go, "Oh boy, where'd that chin go?" And then, second of all, that'll be the day that I get my ass kicked by a hippie. The hippie, if the hippie's bigger than me, I'll simply I'll tell him that there's an African American in the area, and he'll go scattered to the nearest country club. Or I'll tell him someone's keying his Land Rover. And then I will outwit him.
The Land Rover's a good call.
I'll go. Oh my God! Have you seen the S&P 500? It's really tanking. And they'll go. Wah!
More so the BMW. The Land Rover is an excellent call.
Yeah. No. They're Land Rover people because you can fit more sandwiches in them. You can pretend to need to sell.
How about a Rivian? You know those the electric trucks.
No.
Well, I've told you that Tesla drivers, and yesterday was, and this is funny because I've had this conversation with friends and Dan in the back. The drivers yesterday, for some reason, were really on another level, and but the Tesla people say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this up a notch and almost kill you. For some reason, since you have a Tesla and smell your own farts, you believe that you don't have to abide by lights.
They want to show everybody how fast they are.
Yeah.
They're really in the business of showing how quick and speedy and nimble those electric cars are.
You know what's funny is that they're so quiet. So when you plow into that landscaper on the road, like you're gonna, because he can't hear you coming, that's gonna be quite a feat. Have fun in prison, douchebag. I don't know why people want to hit me. No, I never do anything like that. How dare they? This is a guy who emails us all the time. They're good. JJ Redick, the interview was pretty painful, and I wish he would have just hung up on him when he was barely responding to their questions and being dismissive. Yeah, I would have hung up on him, but sometimes people don't like that, so I guess good on them for not doing it. However, I think we might be overlooking something. Perhaps JJ Redick was just completely underwhelmed by being paid in Waltham area chain restaurants and car wash gift cards, and only found out just before going on the air. I mean, that is how we do pay several of our guests.
Yeah, that's right.
Who have been very loyal. But there is at the other side of that rainbow, at the other side of that call, there is a nice gift certificate waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
We mentioned Jane's Addiction just briefly earlier in the show.
Sure.
We got an email from somebody whose cousin played with both Jane's Addiction and Marilyn Manson, a guy by the name of Dan Cleary. Looks like maybe he's a guitarist up there, and even included a photo, as if I wouldn't believe him. I don't know. That'd be a strange thing to make up. It's not like you're saying you rocked the Silverdome last night with your band. Like my cousin would play guitar for 9 Inch Nails and Jane's Addiction. I would have believed you, David, but thank you for the phone.
9 Inch Nails and Jane's Addiction or Marilyn Manson?
Or Jane's Addiction and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I try to want to get myself about as far away from Marilyn Manson.
He also
right
played
now.
with 9 Inch Nails on stage once. That's the photo of him with Trent Reznor.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd probably want to keep my distance from Marilyn Manson. Not good times from him.
No, he's run into some issues.
Yeah, if you want to look at it, Rolling Stone did an expose on him.
One of the loudest concerts I've ever attended was a Marilyn Manson show.
But so creepy. It's so scary seeing nerds like with blood on them.
Do you know what? I'll give you the 10-second version. It was New Year's Eve at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas, 98 going into 99. And before the louder than loud show that Marilyn Manson did, they had a comedian open up for him. New Year's Eve, Hard Rock.
That's like when Kiss had the Rock and Roll Painter open up for him once they ditched David Lee Roth. That's what they did on their last tour.
And I looked it up not long ago because was I misremembering that? Because I was in a much different place at that point in my life. And I found the guy who wrote about it. He said, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible gig.
I interviewed Marilyn Manson one time, and he was, like, fine. He was actually not, like, a dick. But I had to go to court that day, so I had a suit on. And then, like, when I interviewed him, you know how backstages are. They're usually just pretty informal affairs where they're just a couch and, like, some crap. Even big bands. But he was playing, like, the Tabernacle, which is, like, I don't know, the Wilbur. It's like, so he wasn't huge yet. And I went backstage, and he was in a room full of darkness and candles. Young interviewer, you're walking into a different layer. I need not intimidate you with my Star Trek fandom. I'm super scary because I like old horror movies. Ooh.
Oh, I just looked it up. It was Charles Fleischer was the comedian. This guy who does all the voices, like
I know
Who
who
Framed
he is.
Roger Rabbit voice. And yeah, they put him up on stage to do, just a tight 30-minute set.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, so bad.
Clarence says, where's Kendra? What happened to Kendra?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kendra usually comes on Thursdays. She quit. No, she's sick. She's got the flu. She will be back next Thursday.
All right.
All right.
You want to hear that Scotty Scheffler audio in the stack?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's everything I thought it would be. Obstinate, it's a guy who has no respect for the law. And I'm surprised he got out as quickly as he did.
Dismissed with prejudice. You know what that means, Fred?
Yeah.
That means charges can no longer be filed. This is so not a case. We are dismissing the charges with prejudice so that this hopefully will serve as a lesson to never, ever bring charges like this again.
The prosecution realized that the cop in question is a dumbass.
Well, he had a skin
we're
knee.
not doing this again.
I mean, he did have a skin, not to blow the audio, but he had a bruise that developed immediately. Because as bruises often do. Yes. If you were to come over here and punch me in the arm, which you usually do, I mean, the minute your fist left, the collection of blood would form under the skin.
You bruise like a peach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone knows he's low on the iodine, or the iron, or whatever the hell causes bruising. All right, we will be back. Scotty Scheffler, look at you. Every golfer feels so vindicated and proud of themselves, and then they go on the Twitter to state the obvious. Oh boy.
I might celebrate with a rain-soaked 9 here later today.
Yeah, good luck. You'll rip that turf up. You're never going to be allowed on that track again.
Don't worry about me. I'll pick it clean. No divots.
Nice.
Well, I don't know
no divot, daddy.
Why would you brag about that?
You ever see Tiger Woods in his warm-up session on the range with Scotty? And Tiger himself says, "Oh, when I'm really in the groove, I don't take divots."
I've seen Vijay Singh literally pour Gatorade into divots to properly measure them on the practice range.
That's the sound of Fred sitting back, knowing that he's dropped the mic. Well done.
Game, set, match, Fred. All right, we will be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
The NBA playoffs resume tonight in Minneapolis. The Timberwolves will play Dallas, trailing the Western Conference Finals 3-1 in Dallas win. And they come to Boston to play the Celtics in Game 1 of the NBA Finals a week from tonight. Patriots OTAs continued in Foxborough yesterday. Matthew Judon, Cole Strange, Kendrick Bourne, Christian Barmore, and Josh Uche among the missing. The Baltimore Orioles scored 5 runs in the bottom of the second inning. They beat the Red Sox at Camden Yards last night 6-1. Nick Pivetta starts tonight back at Fenway Park against Detroit. All charges have been dropped against the number 1 golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler. He was arrested during the PGA Championship in Louisville earlier this month, and Minnesota beat Boston 3-0 to win the very first professional Women's Hockey League championship last night up in Lowell. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
missed from the show. It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
I want to do this, and I'm sorry if it sounds petty, but I want to thank the listeners for coming back at the hippies on my Instagram account. Just the hippies. Just the hippies. Not anyone else. Everyone has a right to not like me. I'm doing some things a lot of people aren't going to like. The hippies are not taking it well. And it's almost Tony P in D.C. levels of fun. Like, people are coming back at these hippies that are coming after my children and stuff. Yeah. Like, and they're coming back at them. The hippies not reacting well.
Well, you said you had phone calls regarding the hippie situation.
No,
Let's take one. Let's take one.
I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to Okay.
Pick one.
Rick, Hardy told me to do this. You can't. No one can accuse me of going against the grain. I don't want to take this one. Sorry, dude. I'll take this one. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, guys. So I was watching the Netflix, and there was this documentary about this woman and her friends getting killed because she sold marijuana to all the stars of New York City, and it was above the Carnegie Deli. And one of the detectives would always wear a Grateful Dead pin at all times. When he was on the job as a New York City police officer, would wear a Grateful Dead pin. And then we went to go testify in court. The lawyer was like, you have to take the Grateful Dead pin off. And he's like, no, it's who I am, is this Grateful Dead pin. Refuses to take the pin off. Long story short, he gets taken off the case of the marijuana people because he knew everything. But he refuses to take his Grateful Dead pin off because, it's a lifestyle.
And Mike, is there anything that represents the counterculture acid movement of the hippies than being a narc? A literal narc.
Yeah, he was trying to get the good drugs back instead of all the bad drugs. He wanted all the good drugs on the street, not the bad drugs, because in his day, they were all good, but now they're bad.
Yeah, like all like the Ted Cruz shots at like fish shows. Like, go after yourselves with your counterculture, you bunch of phonies. And it is self-indulgent, but I have to say, I am very proud of the listeners. They went to Fred Toucher. I don't want you attacking anyone who just says I suck, because that's a very valid comment. But people, Fish Fan 21, that are calling me like a pedophile because of my last name, I'm enjoying their reactions to what you said.
Fine.
It is the sport of Instagram, and I am enjoying it.
Someone who has never been phony is Scotty Scheffler, who said from the outset this was a severe miscommunication when he was arrested outside the gates of Valhalla before round 2 of the PGA Championship, taken in handcuffs, taken to jail. And we are wondering, well, what would happen? Where's the footage? When the body cam footage was not turned on by Officer Brian Gillis, he was reprimanded for that. Some video did emerge of the scene, which looked like no scene at all. And then yesterday, criminal charges were dropped against Scheffler.
Do you have the audio?
And I have the audio that was released of Scheffler talking with a different police officer after poor Officer Gillis was being treated for his major injuries. And it sounded like this, Dan.
As I was pulling in, my window was down, and the officer told me to stop. And as first of all, I did not know that he was a police officer. I thought he was one of the security guards that was mistaken. And as I was pulling by him, he grabbed my arm.
Stop right there. Why does it matter if he's a security guard or a police officer?
All right, stop. So, if you're a cop, don't you want? You're better than security guards. Security guards aren't cops. A security guard doesn't have the right to direct traffic, correct? You ever been on the road and a dude who's work with a moving company, and Dan Van Line's rules, I'm not saying them, a moving company or a landscaper, they'll stand in the road and stop traffic so the truck can get out. I will never stop for them. Never. You can't do that. If I can safely get around them, I'm getting around them. You cannot stop traffic by standing in the road.
You know what I did once? This is one of my greatest days of my life. Right in front of us as we were coming home, I think we were at the zoo. It was all 4 of us in the car. Kids are real little. Right in front of us, a car rear ends a truck, right? So it's a truck, it's a car that rear ends a truck, and then it's us. and they just stop, and it's a 2-lane, may have been Cummins Highway, cutting from like Mattapan back over into Roslindale, and there's no movement. You can't get around. Everyone there is going to be stuck for a really long time. So I got out of the car. I waited for a break in traffic coming the other way, and I got out and I started directing traffic. And
that is so hardy.
It was absolutely glorious. And I got out and I told Marcy, I'm like, all right, just move over into the driver's seat, pull around, and then wait for me, because I'm not just doing this to get us out of this. I'm going to direct traffic for a while. The people, when they passed me, who I was letting get around the other side, they're like, "Thanks, man, you're awesome. Thank you, brother." I'm like, "Have a good day. Just keep it moving. Watch it. Careful around the truck."
You are truly
and
like
then I stopped the people behind the truck and I let the other traffic come through for a little bit, and then I stopped them and let the other people through, and finally Marcy honks the horn on the other side. Beep beep. She's like, "Okay,
it's time to go.
It's time to go now." But I'm like, "Oh no, I'm into this gig. I was born to do this."
You know, at the end of Office Space, when the lead character is working like construction and he's finally happy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you just didn't go into one of these jobs. Like you.
Well, I'm not good at them.
I don't know. Like I didn't say you'd be like the best like mason worker, but I mean I think that you could have lived the life of doing all this. You could have driven a Bobcat or like direct.
I'd like to think so.
You could have been a crossing guard.
Oh.
Then you also could give out parking tickets.
Well, and I could do that as a retirement thing. Who is it? Is it Adrian Dantley?
Yeah, Adrian Dantley is a crossing guard
because he wants he gets the benefits. He gets the municipal worker benefits,
which is actually not dumb.
It's pretty smart.
All right, so but anyway,
more Scheffler.
Stop right there. Why does it matter if he's a security guard or a police officer?
Because
if somebody's telling you to stop.
Yes, you're right. I should have stopped. I did get a little bit impatient because I'm quite late for my tea time.
Well, stop it there.
See, that didn't make Scotty look great. He
above the law?
Well, yeah, a little bit. He said I was real late, but again, he was going into the lane that was supposed to be for players, caddies, tournament officials, and all this stuff. And I'm sure someone did tell him to go at some point, and then this other guy. But the fact is, once they looked at him, they're like, he didn't drag anybody. He didn't do anything.
I want to be fair, and I'm being fair. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, then he goes, you don't want to play the rest, or he goes, he had a skin knee?
It cuts off. Yes, he actually asked to speak to the officer who's being treated. He said, well, can I talk to him? And the guy says, no, you can't talk to him. He's in a coma.
See, I don't think that's a fair representation. And honestly, I'm not busting your balls about what happened. It sounds to me like the cop that was talking to him that had his body camera on was kind of like wanting to cover his ass a little bit and had no intention of taking Scotty Scheffler to jail. Like, because what he says at the end of it, he goes, the difference between you going to jail or not is what the officer that like skinned his knee said. And I'm not being dismissive saying skinned his knee because that's literally what the guy says happened. He has a raspberry or something on his knee. And so I think that the police officer that was talking to him was like, all right, my partner's pissed or my fellow officer's pissed. He's over there cooling down. Like, you effed up a little bit. Like, sit tight. Because that dude didn't arrest him. And so that's what I believe happened. And I think that the cop that was overzealous took it too personally and was pissed off at him for him skinning his knee, and then this whole in all, I love busting Hardy's balls about it, but I mean, he shouldn't have been arrested. Obviously, it's a fact. He shouldn't have been arrested. They dropped the charges.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
I don't think it justifies his privilege in other areas.
Happy news.
I'd like to see his hard drives and investigate them, if I may.
Happy news in the Bon Jovi family.
Yeah, this is going to go forever.
His son, Jake.
What a disaster this is.
Has married British actress Millie Bobby Brown at an intimate ceremony, and together they will move into a little cottage and they'll have
How
their
old
own
are
little
they?
homestead.
If you combine their two ages of the people who have taken their nuptials,
42.
They would add up to be 42. I'm sure they're both lovely people, but the chances of this thing working out are slim and
Hold on, no.
If I'm the parent,
No.
I'm like, you better be damn straight. I don't care how rich you are. You better be you better know for sure you're having an intimate wedding. Because I ain't paying for anything because we're gonna do this again in 5 years.
You were so wrong. Like any young couple, they made sure that they had plenty in common. They were going to be together for the rest of their lives. As she explained, basically, Jake and I bonded over diving. We love diving. We got our diving licenses together. And that the marriage proposal came underwater.
Look, she was a child actress, very successful. She's a great actress. And she was a very successful actress in a sci-fi show, which opens her up to a whole can of weirdos. And I'm sure that she's had to mature at a rate that's like way faster than when we were 20. But I'm just speaking if I was one of the parents, I'd be like, oh my God, why? Like, just date, man. Move in together.
22 and 20.
You're not gonna want to be with it. You're gonna change so much over the next 10 years. Like, you're just gonna be a completely different person in 10 years. In 5 years, 4 years, you're gonna be
3 more people.
Yes, exactly. Like, you've got a lot of life and a lot of evolving to do. Like, why would you stick yourself with someone like this? By the way, the Touch and Artie Show brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. The Stack is brought to you by Best Ford in Nashua. Looking for great deals on new Fords? Go to the Best Ford Nashua. Head to the bestfordnh.com. And it's not Zolak and Bertrand are a little late. I'll actually stick around because I guess the traffic's terrible. So we might be back. But if not, that'll do it for us. Bye.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Be sure to enjoy all the Major League Baseball action this season at your neighborhood bar or restaurant with an ice cold, refreshing Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball.